Hi, everybody. This is a
Okay,
pokercoaching.com
hmm.
cash game study session. What we're going to do is we're going to be looking at hands with all the cards face up so we can see how our opponents actually play and think about what that means in terms of both GTO
That
and
sounds like a good idea.
exploitive strategies. Um, we do
Yes.
this every week. We do this on Mondays at 11:15. If you ever want to join us live, this is the group. Let me see. It's under, if you go to the Discord, you go to Discord, go to the poker coaching members Discord, which I believe is
Morning.
public. Good morning. And then it'll be posted right
Um,
there, just like this one is.
I'll take the 9:15.
Ah, so I'm gonna mute you, and then you can unmute yourself when you're off the phone. Quality YouTube content, people. Quality content. All right. So there we go. Well, she muted herself, so we're good. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll each do a round or two, anybody who wants it, and I'll go first, and you'll by
Okay.
the time it gets to you, you'll see what it's like. So we see everybody's hand here. Hero has Jack 10 of hearts,
Okay.
hijack, and this is a raise. I should raise. Everyone should fold, and the ace 5 should not defend against the hijack. Let's see what they do. I raise, and
I
everybody
can
folds.
type her in so I can change my doctor.
Okay. I'm gonna
Okay.
Hang on, I'm
go in.
gonna
Oh,
three
yeah, I'm
bet
pretty
that
sure I
ace
saw
five.
her name on
You
my
want to see? I
list.
want to hear about that in a second, but let me do a little mute here. Here we go. Participants.
Thank you.
I'm going to
All
mute
right.
our new friend.
And will I see this on my chart?
There we go. That way we do not have anyone's private health records on our little channel. Okay, so you want to go and you want to three bet that ace 5.
Yeah,
All right. Let's see. I believe that against the hijack, that has definitely got there is some bluffing of that. That's a one. You're absolutely right. It looks like this. I just remembered it. So go, and because you do it a lot, do it a lot more. So here we go. Let's change to cash 6 max. That's what we're at. We are at 100 big blinds deep. Hijack raises. And you'll see right here in the big blind, look at that ace 5 right there. Look at it. 10%. So let's do it. He didn't. So yeah, that's a good one to find. You want to talk about why you do that one, Joey?
well, there's no I just know that it's a good candidate
Yep.
to, I mean, I do it probably too often, but there's
Mhm.
never really too often against a bunch of weak players.
Right. And against the cutoff, it's very common. Cutoff, it's a, come on, cutoff. Big blind versus cutoff has got a big chunk of it there. So there you go. And against the button, it's almost mandatory.
So Joey, hey, you're saying that you don't do that for like you don't three bet ace 5 off from the cutoff 100%, but you do it occasionally.
Joey does it 100%.
My three bet percentage is like 13.5.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think we're
It's
all
quite
well aware
high.
that the three bet
I
percentage is pretty high. I'm just curious if you see ace 5 off versus a hijack raise, um, do you take that and make it basically full frequency?
Not full frequency, but depends how I'm feeling. Um, there are just some days I am more aggressive than others.
Mhm.
I think that's normal for everybody. They
Yep.
sit down and play, they're in a different mood than they were the day before. And then maybe whatever that player's giving me.
Yeah.
Well, you play on Poker Stars as well, correct?
Yes.
So you understand villains full to three bet. I would imagine it has something to do with it.
No, not necessarily.
Mhm.
That's interesting.
Like I've said before, my three bets are not my bluffs are not accomplishing pre-flop folds as often as I need to make a profit pre-flop. But they are getting the post-flop folds on the flop.
So you're not modulating your three bet frequencies depending on how often villain folds to a three bet.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, if they are over folding to a three bet, obviously, yes, you want to three bet them.
But you're mainly looking for someone who
But-
doesn't, who isn't.
But I'm
for-
looking at how much they're gonna fold pre-flop combined with flop folds.
And how often they four bet.
Yeah,
You don't want anybody four bet bluffing you there with these kinds of hands, because it's gonna work. Here we go.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Fold, king, jack raises, jack nine suited. King nine suited, can three bet from the small blind, and ace four is not, an ace four against the button is, should be defending by three betting some and calling some. We'll see what the jet, but not if the king nine comes in. So the king jack raises, the king nine calls. So he does have a calling range. And against this, I think the ace four should fold. I think against just the button, the ace four should raise and call, but against this, I think he should just fold.
This is a pretty, oh, there you go.
That's
Fish
what-
makes a disciplined fold.
I think that's right. Let's see. Seems right to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think king nine would be almost a full frequency three bet too.
Yeah, let's see. Button raises small blind. King nine is, is doing lots of it. He does a sliver of calls, but when he does, big blind ace five is nowhere near there. But observe that with the fold from the small blind, that the big blind ace five never folds and often raises. And that is your lesson for the day, that when an extra player is in there, it's not like limit poker. You don't look at the pot odds. You look at your inverse implied pot odds and say, I don't belong in this hand with an ace five out of position. All right. But there he is. All right. And the ace five would have won. Check. I think that jack king can easily bet here and take it. And he does, and he does. All right. Well, we're three-handed now. Fold, 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 fold. There we go. Ace four fold, queen four fold, king nine, raise if you don't have a calling frequency, and mix if you do. And 3-3 needs to defend. And against the small blind, 3-3 should defend by it can, by doing some, let's see. Against a small blind, queen 3-3 can mostly call. It can raise.
Yeah, I think we call these small pairs.
Yeah, it does have a raising, it does have some raising in it, but not much. Let me think. 3-3, no, 3-3 is just is an absolute call. No fold, no raising. like that.
yeah, you're in position with a medium type hand.
Yeah, no reason to raise here. And he makes the right size. There it is. He goes for the. And there's nothing about this 2-6-10 that should make the 3-3 stick around unless he gets checked too. Check, check. Great.
Wait.
Yeah.
Are you folding to a C bet on that board?
Yes, without a spade.
Heads up?
I need a spade.
I would not be folding yet.
I'm
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Blind versus blind, you gotta call a little bit wider. Cause
Okay.
the ranges are much wider too.
Gotcha. Now, do you want to bet at this check? You're marginally made. It seems
No,
you need protection, but yep, check. And then here's this bet.
now I think we could probably fold.
He doesn't. It's gonna work unless this guy, nope, it's not gonna work. He's got the king of spades and that's enough.
That's a small bet though.
Yeah, it's a small bet. It's a very small bet. But the threes is now losing to everything except pure bluffs. Which is what the guy has. It's not comfortable. The guy bet twice. There we go. All right. Ace three fold, 10-9 suited raise, queen eight fold, jack 10. Should absolutely defend, and it should defend mixing raises and calls. I'm doing this I'm raising the jack 10 here 25% of the time. And it's hearts, so I'm not raising it.
This seems like a very good three bet to me.
It's in there, and he took it, and it's in
Too
there.
small.
Yep.
Here's the frequency of it. That was a button raise to the big blind. There's your Jack 10. Yep, it's absolutely,
Pure three bet.
yeah, pure for you. Yep, absolutely pure. There we go. And he does it. And the 10-9 suited calls, which I think is right from the button. Mixes folds. Interesting. I didn't realize that. And
However, this
Because
size
small
is
sides are
small,
you
so
play
that
that all the time.
yeah. Oh, he went extra small. Yeah, he went not. Yeah, he went very small. Yeah, for that size, got a call.
Yeah, he should have went at least 12.
Yeah. Yep. GTO is 13. So yeah, definitely should have gone 12. At least 4x, and button went to 3, open to 3. So absolutely. All right, here we go. He can do 3-bet C-bet, and it should work pretty well. He does. He bets huge. This is not the right size for this, I don't think.
No,
On a
I
paired
think the
board,
right size is closer to 5 or 6.
yeah, yep, exactly. And it's gonna work. And there he goes. All right. Here we go. I will do one more round and then I will hand it over to someone else. King Jack raise, Jack 10 on the button, fold, Queen 10 fold. This should just get through. It does. Fold to the aces. How sad for the person in aces. Such a good person, a good and generous person with his time and experiences, and yet he is rewarded with nothing. All right. Who wants to do two rounds of what should happen in the suit?
I'll step up since I brought it up, I suppose.
All right, Mike, you're up.
All right. So 6-7 would have this is the hijack, would have some raising frequency to it. And if it did, it would fold to the ace jack off, which I think is probably going to have mostly folds in the small blind to a raise.
Yeah.
But it would be 3-bet if you were going to play it. I do RNG those small suited connectors, and 10% of the time I'll raise and fold them most of the time.
So he takes that fold, which is not wrong. He doesn't have to take that spot.
So
Having-
Queen 10 should raise now that it's gotten to him. And then the ace jack, I would 100% 3-bet this. And
I think in lower stakes games, you can expand that 7-6 off to about 100%.
Mhm.
I raise almost all the suited connectors.
That seems like a reasonable adjustment.
yep.
I mean,
It isn't the
my
solve.
reason is you're not going to get 3-bet a lot,
Mhm.
so you're going to see the flop a lot of the times with it,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
think
a playable hand.
Yep.
what I'll do is I will look and definitely increase the frequency if there are players behind me that I, basically don't have respect for, or so to speak. Look at their 3-bet, look at their general stats, and if they're really good, if there's a lot of 3-betting going on, I'll stick to the 10% kind of thing. But if it's pretty weakish players, you're right, I will definitely increase those frequencies.
Yeah. And the thing, just to repeat what Joey said there, we're not looking for that we raise that all these suited connectors we raise and everyone folds. It's not a disaster if you get called by someone, and it's not a disaster if you get called by many people. The only thing you don't want is to get 3-bet a lot. So if people are, you just look at the table, what's happening on the hands you're not in. If it's 3-betting frequently, then those suited connectors go down in value, and if it's not, they're very playable. And that's down
If
to,
you're 3-bet frequently, you have to be able to pull a trigger on a 4-bet.
Mhm.
Now that he's 3-bet, Queen 10 should just fold here.
Yep. And those suited connectors are down to the 5-4 suited, not to the 4-3 suited. 5-4 is a perfectly good suited connector. 4-3 is not.
Actually, if I'm just looking at it, say the small blind 3-bets us.
Mhm.
7-6 off is a pure call,
7-6 suited or 7-6 off?
or 7-6 suited.
Yeah.
If we're 3-bet by the button.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not necessarily whether you're 3-bet much.
No, I mean, if you're at a table that is 3-betting all the time, while you can call the 7-6 suited, it's more profitable to fold it. If if the common thing to happen to your suited connectors is you have to pay 9 big blinds to see the flop, you are better off not seeing the flop. You can get more from that table by waiting for better hands that they're also gonna 3-bet you with. That's my thought. You disagree?
Yeah, yeah, if they're gonna 3-bet you a lot, but that,
Right.
in reality, that doesn't happen.
Well, you have a 3-betting
I mean,
maniac.
even if you're sitting at a table with me
Mhm.
and everybody's around 5%, the overall global 3-bet percentage is gonna be lower.
Yep. But we
Hey,
saw,
Scotty, just,
Yeah.
if you could confirm for me, bring up the pre-flop raise from the hijack and see what ace jack off does in the small blind. I'm pretty sure it's basically
It
folding most of the
mixes,
time.
it mixes 3-bet.
Yeah. So it
3-bet
does fold
fold,
most of the time and 3
but
bets
no
at some
call.
frequency.
And this no call thing is, I think, really smart. Ace jack is not a hand to call from the small blind. Right. So we have that. And then as played, we have button raise, small blind, re-raises, and we're back to the button with the queen 10. And that is going to be one of those. All right.
All right, fold it around to 10 jack and well, queen 8 actually has some raising. There's I know in my ranging it's like that threshold hand. I would raise it for sure probably against most players in small stakes. Now the 10 jack and a 5-6 should fold.
That is a man who plays tournaments.
We've got our fish.
Mhm.
Yeah, the queen 8 though, I think I would probably tend to lean towards fold since it's offsuited. Unless one of the blinds has like a VPIP of like 17 or lower.
Mhm. Yeah. And
Yeah,
not,
this is one of those hands I definitely am aware queen 8's like that. It's got a sliver of raising, and I will open it up to queen 8 off when the players behind me are like weak again. If they're pretty strong, I'll typically let it go.
we've got a
Yeah,
very,
if these are accurate stats, the 17 VPIP, I would open this into them.
right. Yep. And he's got a 13, and he's only called 1 out of 8 opportunities against a raise. This guy's called 2 of 11 opportunities.
Yeah, this is obviously a target that widen your range.
Yeah. Although there's 37 here. I mean, it's only 20 hands, but this 37 in the small blind is not comforting. But he's in the small blind, which is not a common place to call from. So we do it.
Yeah.
Yep. We do it.
We
And
get to the flop. This is a check range for out of position,
Mhm.
and then definitely can c bet here. It's not going to be a c bet range, and you're going to get some big bets if you want. Probably default to just betting small here most of the time against most players, but solver's going to mix up some checks with some bets in several different size ranges. And 5-6 should call, should defend.
I think I like checking the queen 8 there.
Yeah, checking's definitely an option.
you can barrel on a queen, a club, a 9 or a 10. That's your world. So that's not all that much.
The 5-6 is going to check, and then at this point we just don't have very much equity, so it's going to be just a pure bluff here. We don't really have much value. We're not getting value. The card didn't do anything for our range. I've just checked behind here. If you bet, I think you got to go big. You got to polarize. And an interesting river for the hero.
Facing a
Blind to the
check, check. Facing a check, check. What does out of position want to do here?
Out of position, I think will want to check.
No blocking.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Did they check?
Yep, he checked.
Yeah. So now you got to. I think some people will typically kind of over bluff here. You could probably take some showdown value to there. I personally wouldn't. I probably would check behind here. But if you bet, you go for your 70%.
Mm-hmm. At least.
I think I'd go 12.
$12, and so you'd overbet it.
Yeah, I think,
Mm.
well, let me see. So one check on the turn,
Check on the turn.
check to you on the river.
Yeah.
No, not with a 10.
Right.
I think if ace, king, or queen, we could overbet it.
Yeah.
Ace, king, queen, or a club, we can overbet. I think at 10, if we're gonna try to bluff at it, maybe 75 to pot size.
So if he had a straight draw on the flop, we are beating him on the river. That's not true. No.
What
The
straight
4-4
draw did
game-
he have on
no,
the flop?
No, I'm looking at this. No, the 3-4 beats us, the 3-5 beats us, the 4-5 beats us. So all those, and if he wraps the jack, he can have queen 9 or queen 10 for us. Yeah, I don't think it's a great bluff.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's important to realize that his straight draws that he called to your bet on the flop now have a marginal pair.
All right.
Ace-6, a little early for me. 8's going to raise and take it. Fold. Big blind gets a whop. Jack 10 should raise, and 5-3 can defend. Probably by both 3-betting and calling.
There is absolutely about a 25% 3-bet here from the jack 10. I mean, from the 5-3. He doesn't take it. Looks like this. Small blind. Fold. There's the raise.
I think
and
5-3's
there's-
defended 100%.
No, it's defended 100%. It's 3-bet. It's 3-bet.
Oh, okay.
100%. This is the only place where 5-3 is and 4-3 are where these suited where the suited gappers this small get played as a raise. They get called all the time in the big blind. They defend against every position, 5-3 and 4-3 suited. They never fold. But
In
this is
game,
one-
I miss. I don't hit those 3-bets in game.
Yeah, me either.
I'm doing them a quarter of the time. I would have done with this pair, I wouldn't have done it, but I would have done it a quarter of the time. So he does this totally reasonable. And
Monotone flop, you're going to check a lot out of position. It's almost kind of, you can almost never be incorrect by checking, but you can also lead here for small, which you do, and 5-3, this would be rough. Probably, I would probably just fold at this point, but you probably have to defend.
Yeah, I think you have to defend blind versus blind.
And that's what happens.
Well, on an
Yeah,
ace high,
10.
on an ace high monotone board, we can overfold.
What about the wide ranges of blind versus blind? How does that affect your calling frequency?
Well, we're going to overfold our range. So instead of calling 75%, we might go down to 50%. We're going to have flush draws almost 20% of the time. We're going to have flushes or a flush draw quite often. We're going to have some aces that can defend. We're going to have some 2 pairs, some sets.
So this is an interesting spot for Hero because he got called to a C bet, and now he's got arguably a marginal flush. This is a tough one.
I think it's an easy one. I think it's such an easy check because you're not getting 2 streets
nine.
from someone without a club. So why get it now?
So the argument is we've got a marginal made hand.
Yeah.
Let's check.
Check.
All right, let's.
What's your betting threshold then?
I
Queen?
want to go over this hand in the solver after we're done.
Okay, sounds good. Let's you want to, who wants to set that up?
I already have it set up.
Okay, great. Okay, we'll finish the hand and then we'll go to you. Okay. So Mike, you were saying?
Yeah, so, I mean, you can get value from worse, and you can also own yourself here. Personally, I think I would take a check line here and kind of evaluate and calling and not raising. And then I would check again now that he's kind of shown interest in it and let him bluff if he's bluffing
Oh,
and make an easy call.
what a
I don't think he can
size.
raise. I don't
Thank
think
you.
he can raise this.
No, but thank you so much for that. Doesn't even make poker difficult. So there's a name for this. It's called a post oak bluff, which is you bluff way too small. And it's generally not good. Your value hands don't make enough money and your bluffs don't work enough. But he did it. Okay, let's take a look at this one.
Oop.
You gonna share, Joe?
You're up, Joey.
Yeah, I'm trying to share. I have the wrong tab set up.
Okay.
Trying to get to the right tab to share.
Mhm.
All right, there we go. Okay, when I started looking this up, I got to here, and Hero should have checked the range.
Yeah. That was a mistake.
We look at range versus range real quick.
Well, your particular hand, I bet, is one of the hands that get to bet.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it does have a sliver of betting with your particular hand.
Yay.
Does any particular hand have more flushes than the other?
I think big blind does because he has less offsuit stuff.
Yeah, I think you're right. But you could change that from equity buckets to hands.
Yeah, the big blind has a touch more flushes, not much.
So I would imagine that's driving the checking frequency.
Yeah, this is another out of position check range board. Actually, let's do this really quick.
Do you want to filter for monotone boards?
I was just getting there.
They all are.
Yeah, it's just heavy check.
You could simplify this and just, oh no, there we go. Yeah, even the most often bet one is still.
Yeah, these are. Basically, most of the ones that are down here are 9 high.
Mm-hmm.
I almost,
Yeah, check that the ace is on the board. Are all the ace high ones just almost always check? Yeah.
Yeah.
it's interesting. So I almost want to take away from this that a monotone board blind versus blind is almost, well, it's a high frequency check. You're never going to go wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
globally, it's 84% globally.
Yeah, we could just simplify this and check range. And
So
not
that's in theory. Now the question is, does population overfold if they don't possess the flush draw?
they might correctly fold, but they fold often.
Yeah, so I wonder if a population adjustment in this situation
Well-
is that if our bet overperforms, if population doesn't continue without a flush draw, then maybe it makes sense to bet.
What combo did you have?
I had 10-9 of club of Jack 10 of spade club.
Spade club.
Huh.
So 5%, you get a 33% bet with this combo.
Yeah.
But I still like the bet.
Okay.
I still like the thought of just simplifying everything to check range on monotone boards,
I like that.
blind versus blind.
Yeah.
All right, so we bet, and he was supposed to call with his pair.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, filters. Third pair folds a little bit.
Right.
Actually, it's not really.
Yeah, but it's only when you have a pocket pair.
Yeah, it's not actually third pair. It's these pairs in between the second and third pair that they're
Right.
counting, because your pair blocks bottom set, where these don't.
And it has 5 outs to improve against an ace king that isn't, with no club
Yeah.
against ace king of hearts. And the others are 2 outs to improve.
So he calls.
Right. And when those calls, go back one step. On those middle pairs that call on their folds, I assume that's when those are the versions without a club. Right. If you
Yeah.
have a club, it's always calling. Right. That's good. Okay, great. Going on.
And
So turn 7. Do we bet our marginal flushes? Can you filter for flushes, please?
well, our combo here checks.
Hey, good.
So it
It's
looks like,
actually checking 60% of the time, flushes.
can you go to breakdown? It might more clearly tell us where our threshold is for betting with a flush. So what's our worst flush so we mix down here at like 84% equity.
Yeah, the ones up here we go large.
Then we trap the top, but then we begin at 80% equity. So queen high flush. What about jack high flush?
Jack high starts mixing.
Yeah, so jack high. Okay, so queen's the threshold. So if we
Yeah.
have a queen, I think it's safe to say a heuristic take from this is that if we have a queen high flush in this situation, we
And
can value bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
jack high mixes, and then looks like at some point jack high becomes, and then basically 10 high and lower
Which is
Yeah.
interesting, right? Because we've got
checks.
80% equity with jack high flushes, but our reverse implied odds are significant. So I guess a jack high flush is motivated to not float the pot out of position because of reverse implied odds.
Right. We have 80% equity, but not 80% equity when called. When we're called, it goes way, way down. And when we're ahead, we are so not vulnerable.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, maybe the issue is that there's a lot less flushes that can call us that we can stack.
So in the hand, what happened?
He bet now. So I checked and the 3-5 bluffed.
How much?
He bluffed. Let's see, what was the sizing here? On the flop, he bluffs half pot. And on the river, he
pretty much
bluffs a third pot.
That's pretty much as he should. But you look at his bluff here,
Yeah.
and you called
Right.
6 of
Was
hearts.
that a good size? Was that a good sizing for him to bluff? The half pot? I couldn't tell by your colors.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's
Mo-
mostly 33.
mostly 33, but there is 50 in there.
Okay, so that's not crazy.
Can we go back to small blind's reaction to this bet, please? Can we see what our calling with flushes, if calling with all our flushes? No matter how shitty, like, are we calling with the 2 of clubs?
Yeah, this looks like we're not folding any flushes.
Yep.
What's the EV of calling with the 2 of clubs?
shitty.
That's winning 2
2.3.
chips.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
That's 2 big blinds, not 2 chips.
Right. So we call, and I think his bet on the river is silly after he
What was it?
Okay.
6 of hearts?
took the heart. Yeah.
What's the difference between a big blind and a chip?
Is a big blind 2 chips?
Yeah.
There we go. All right. There we go. And so he goes 6 of hearts. I checked again with my 10 of clubs, which I regret nothing.
Hmm.
You were supposed to mix here.
Yep.
Blocking.
I regret nothing.
Tiny.
Check more with your combo.
Yeah. Mix blocking bet or check.
Mm-hmm. And the
It's
block
about
is
50
tiny.
50.
The block is tiny.
All right. So how much did he?
He bet a third of the pot, which is just silly.
And he's supposed to just call or check here.
Yeah, he's supposed to give up.
He does have small bets. They must be traps, right? So is
Those
He's
no,
got-
I think those were not traps. I think those were unsolved. I think that
What do you-
was a smaller percentage.
Hmm?
Oh, just his bets there.
he's got this very small percentage of, yeah, it's probably solver noise is what you're
I think
saying.
it's solver noise.
Yeah, because also if he's got almost nothing of anything here, to be honest.
Yeah, he's just not here. All right. But having done that, he goes
And then
35.
call.
Yeah, just call.
What I
And-
thought was, what made me do this when I looked at this and saw this. So I think we should just take away this.
That seems really smart to change.
If we take away this one thing, we'll be a better player next week.
I agree. I like that. All right. There we go. You're still up, Mike?
Okay, good.
Right.
Yep, and we call good hand. This is 1 big blind here.
Yeah.
There. So the king 7's technically in the cutoff. It's raise and it should take it. Oh, heads up. Oh boy. I know I'm terrible at heads up. All right. King 10's gonna raise, ace king's gonna 3-bet. King 10. So heads up. I mean, King 10's one of those 4-bet bluff hands that come up quite often. But heads up, I'm not sure if the dynamics change in there. I'm not studied.
Especially 150 big blinds.
I'm gonna look
If
it
it's
up.
150 big blinds, yeah,
Yeah.
I think I turn the raise into a
150.
call.
I am confident that he's not gonna 4-bet, but do a quick look here.
What was the sizing of his open?
2.5, I think.
250.
2.5?
Yeah,
Okay.
better 2.5.
So we have open,
Yeah.
big blind 3-bet.
I'm gonna see if we've got, do we have heads up? We
Yeah,
do,
I do.
and stack sizes. Oh, you do yours, do yours. All right. 150 big blinds, heads up.
Yeah, you don't have it. I have it in mind.
Oh, good. All right. Let's see it.
Share. Okay, so heads up, the button is the small blind.
Yes,
So heads up, this is the button's range.
yep. Raise everything.
Massive.
This is the big blind 3-bet range.
Or 3-bet him.
And for as wide a range as small blind has, doing a lot of folding here.
Yeah,
Well, we're playing out of positions.
Yeah,
Huh?
because we'd be
I
out of
said we're
position.
playing out of position.
Because we'd be out
I
of
said
position.
we're playing out of position.
Yeah,
Yeah. And also there's half a big blind less in the pot than if you're just facing a regular button open.
yeah. Yep. Comes
Alright,
And
back
this
around
is the
to him.
small blind response to the 3-bet.
Yep,
Yeah, so my guesstimate was pretty was right on, I guess. King 10 became a pure call there, whereas it would be a 4-bet bluff a lot if you were playing regular multi-handed.
yeah. So he's gonna call. No, there we go. Back to it. So he should not be folding here. He just needs to call.
Okay, well, this is going to be c-bet a lot. This is a range that hits him big time. He chooses to go really small. He could probably have some large bets on this flop with his hand in particular. King 10 of hearts. Boy,
It's interesting that it's actually getting the odds to call. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think it should call without a diamond, just a gut shot, but it's interesting to see that it is getting the odds.
I think you got to call a gut shot here, even just to the size of that bet. It's less than a quarter pot. You gotta call. You gotta.
and I think you can overfold to population, like if this guy's just been sort of an unknown and playing kind of
Oh, this is
fishy
getting
or
interesting.
whatever.
Yeah, who's thinking about bluffing here if a diamond comes in, depending on hero sizing, if they were the villain?
What
And
was
I'm
the
saying,
question again,
with
Skate?
who's
Skate,
think
skate.
so?
Oh, go on, skate.
Oh yeah, like yeah, yeah, if it's a good idea to heads up, possibly bluff, since you're in, like, let's say you were the villain, let's say a diamond comes in and you do not have a diamond, is that a good reason to bluff, depending on hero sizing?
Are you talking about on the turn to continue the bluff?
No, if a diamond comes in, and let's say you were the villain and a diamond comes in,
I,
would you
Under-
consider bluffing?
On the
think-
turn?
Skate, I think we're confused. Under what situation? Like if we called this on the flop?
If hero calls and the next card is not a queen, is not a king, is not a 10, but is a diamond, should he
Oh.
should he continue the bluff? And I think he should.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, so if you're
Yeah.
in position and you make this, and
Yeah.
then the turn comes diamond.
Yeah.
A large part of your bluffing range should be diamonds.
Yeah.
Or I would argue it also depends on which diamond it is.
Yeah. I think you should, although I don't think he should be making this raise without a diamond in his hand. I think he should call this inside straight draw for 5.
I wonder if villain is kind of street poker reacting to your size, which is
Could be.
great, right? I mean, you've got a really good hand here, so.
Yeah.
So I think. So what's your thinking there, Hero?
Oh, my reason?
Yeah.
Well, because he has king 10 and no diamond. No, my reasoning is that I have the best hand so often, but I do not want the turn to go check with this wet board.
So you're essentially, is part of this that you're pricing in his draws to continue?
I'm willing. I'm okay with the hand being over. To his draws and overs. I'm okay with taking his draws out. And I rarely up against ace jack, jack, ace deuce, and deuce deuce.
Okay.
I have the best hand on a very dynamic board, and given the size that he raised it to, he's just bought himself a really cheap turn card if this goes in the normal way. So none of that. That's my thought.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about this play, and my argument is that you're pretty much at the top of his range. You are gonna get outdrawn sometimes to his obvious draws that are making his play.
Yeah.
But you're also now eliminating all his bluffs from, I could be influenced by that hand. Cards up, but I mean, you are gonna eliminate all his bluffs that would continue.
Yep. We're gonna
But-
run this one.
You could be in a very difficult place on turn for sure.
Right.
So,
All right, you're up, Joey. We're gonna run this sucker. You ready?
Yeah, I'd really like to see the calling frequencies with king 10, no backdoors other than the gut shot.
You alive, Joey? Okay, we might have to go. Joey might have stepped away for a moment. Okay, so when Joey gets back, we'll run that one. Okay, here we go.
man, if Joey's gonna take over the solver duties, he's not allowed to walk away from
I
it.
know this. Who's going to the bathroom?
Man, come on,
Okay.
Joey.
Hey, I
There he
have
is.
a job.
Joey's back. All right, Joey, we want to
Come
run.
on.
I
No.
still have a job. I have to,
What kind of excuses work?
Or
Come
Bob.
on.
and we
functions.
can't run this post flop.
Oh, we don't have that. We don't have the post flop heads up. Okay. Oh well. Let's see. Is there any? We can't, but we can run it. We can run it as non heads up button versus big blind. That will give us a reasonable answer also.
You wanna run it blind
Yeah.
versus blind?
Yeah, run it. No, blind versus blind makes the positions wrong. Let's run it button versus big blind, and it'll be okay.
Not 150 deep though, right? That's a big factor in this.
Yeah, 150 deep.
Factor.
You can do it.
Post flop, you can do it? Oh, Joey can. Yeah, Joey can.
I can do one.
Yeah. Okay. Joey, you want to? You
I
able to
need
run
you
this
to
one?
stop sharing.
Okay, I'll stop sharing.
And who's got a ringing coming through?
Yeah, it sounds like a train in the background or something.
I don't know. I will
Okay,
mute everybody.
so
You can unmute yourselves one at a time.
so this is the button reaction to the 3-bet from the big blind.
Mm-hmm.
Where we got, he had king 10 suited.
King suited.
That's still 100% call.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he called. What was the flop?
Flop is deuce of diamonds, ace of clubs, jack of diamonds.
So big blind has a mix. It
Mhm.
does prefer going larger for the most part.
But it does exist.
And what you had spades?
I had spades. And I chose I
So-
chose the 20% line,
Yeah.
which by the
Alright,
way,
so we went.
is the most, is that, oh no, it's not the most common for that hand. It's the most common for the board. Okay.
What suit did he have? King 10.
Hearts.
That's got a sliver of it. How much did he raise?
He raised to 12. He
Oh.
basically min clicked it.
Alright, so we're just gonna do the smallest one here.
Yeah.
And what'd you do?
I 3-bet him,
Alright, well played, dude.
4-bet him.
You had ace, which ace king did you have?
I had ace, king of spades.
Well played. I thought that we would call
You can,
because we're at top of range, but yeah, I guess you can do either.
yeah, you can, but it's,
You notice it's calling more with the ace king of diamonds.
oh yeah. Ace, king of diamonds would love to see another card.
Our jacks are mixing, right?
What do you mean? Pocket jacks or?
Pocket jacks.
Jack and jack.
Yeah, and then he folded to your.
Yeah. Interesting how Jack 10 and Jack 9 call and fold, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 all call pure. How the 10 and the 9 are blocking some bluff. 10 blocks the Broadway bluffs. And 9 blocks exactly 10, 9. Yeah, I don't know that.
I don't know, this has more value removal than junk removal.
Right, so now take a look at the Jack 7, the one that calls 100%. Let's see what is it about that. 3 and 2, and Jack 10 was
3 and 1.
3 and 1. All right, that's the difference.
We're going deep, guys.
Yep, we're going back. Here we go. All right. Who's up next? Who would like the next hand? And you don't get to see what it is first.
All right,
All right.
Uh,
Larry's up.
I'll break the silence. I'll break
Okay.
the uncomfortable silence.
Here we go. All right.
Yeah, if I go, I'll break the solver.
There's your hand. Yep.
Big blind gets a walk. We've got a limper? No. Raise. Fold.
Does 3-5 defend?
I think it can defend at some frequency. Yeah.
It should defend 100%.
Any
100%.
3-bets?
None.
If you're Joey, there is.
No, I don't typically find these low suited connector 3-bets.
You can do it with a
Um,
4-5. 4-5
Just
is in there.
in my mind, in suited connecting stuff, the lowest card being a 4, I prefer to raise that. The reason being is that 5-4 suited can make more straights
Yep.
than 4-3 suited.
Yep.
Once you
Enough.
once the lowest card gets below 4, you start losing the amount of possible straights you can make.
Exactly. And you see it there. That this pattern here of 5 up, this pattern here maintains through the whole, all of your raising. You'll see the suited gappers are playing some of the double gappers, make different adjustments depending on where the position is that raised. But this is solid, always. Oh, look at that 3-4. Look, that's surprising against the hijack. I've never seen that before.
We saw it at the beginning of
That was a small blind. It does it against small blind. I've never seen it do it against the hijack. I don't know that it does, but here we go. There's the 4-3, a tiny little bit. This is 6-handed. But these are robust.
But yeah, anything higher than a 4 will 3-bet more often.
Yeah.
I don't even hit the ones below a 4.
I think you can lose. I think you can skip all of these in every position except for the small blind with no loss. And if you want to cut them out of your small blind also, you can go ahead and do that. But all the other ones, I think you can just ignore. And there's your small blind. So these are the only ones that I bother to find. And it's what's changed. Because there were 2 of them here before. We are,
Oh, you got no limit 500 now.
okay, that's what happened. My rake should be NL 50. There we go. And there it is in the NL 50. All right. Cool. And he does.
Yeah, I mean, this board is really good for button. I mean, I would like, if I were playing this, especially with the jack, I would bet small. I like a stop and go strategy here, so. Bet small. He's gonna call.
That's
Should call.
big. That's big.
Yeah, I'd bet a little smaller. I mean, you've got locked up equity range versus range here. But you do get a call. So here, I think probably you're supposed to polarize, but I wonder if you ever check.
Do villain first. Does villain ever donk on this card?
I don't think this is an equity shifting card. I don't think you'll against this, there he goes. Against this an ace and a jack on the board, which are really good for button. I don't think that this is an equity shifting card. But he does, I don't think that you should do anything but call him.
Maybe the deep stacks change that. What you're
Yeah,
what
deep stacks,
you're
yeah.
suggesting. But yeah, I think you're right. I
Changes
think in
changes the
position, you're gonna
nature
call.
of the nine. I mean, it does obviously bring in his hand, which he is now trying to semi-bluff, mergey semi-bluff, but generally I don't think that the card shifts enough equity.
No, it
Yeah.
doesn't shift any equity.
But that would be not enough then, I guess. So
No,
let's
it would
see if
have
he
to be
continues here.
It would have to be 10 or higher or a diamond
Yeah.
for him to
Yeah.
be able to dunk.
So let's see if he continues his ruse.
Okay.
I mean, if he's
you're
gonna
him
play
now.
this game, he needs to follow through.
Gotcha. So Larry, you're villain 97. I apologize for putting you in this position, but as played, 6 of diamonds.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that if you're going to start this, if you're gonna turn your marginal hand into a bluff, which you just did,
Mhm.
and you didn't get there, I think that you need to continue
What size?
and fold out. You're trying now to fold out like maybe you can get queens without a flush blocker to fold. Maybe you can get
You need to get a jack
kings
to
to
fold, right?
fold.
You need to get a jack to fold to
You
make
need
it.
to get your hand to fold.
Good luck.
Well, you need to get a naked jack to fold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to get a naked
So I
jack.
would continue it, but let's see what he does.
How big? If you're trying to get a jack to fold and you don't think you can get an ace to fold, how big you gotta bet?
Uh, so you're representing the very top of range, right? You're representing essentially either a turned set. I mean, you're really saying you have nines here. And now maybe you have nines with the 9 of diamonds, and then maybe you that pot or B150.
Yeah. You could do this with, you could have nines here, but you could also have jack 9 here. You'd have jack 9 and ace 9 here. Those make sense for as
Those make sense. Yeah. But I
Yeah.
don't think the real question is what sizing. I'm curious what sizing you would fold to. Would you fold to a shove? Which would be ridiculous.
I do.
I've got the jack, the jack of diamonds might make me not do it.
A king concerto.
Yeah, but I'm calling 30. I'm calling $30. I'm calling pot size.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'd call it
Same.
B150 here because you have very important blockers.
And the other day I called 2.5 pot size, and that was wrong. But he checks and gives it up.
Yeah, I would continue his. I mean, if you're going to make such an aggressive play on turn, then I would continue.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
I agree, Larry.
What the fuck is right?
Yeah, what the fuck? So betting here,
Russian, can you mute yourself?
Oh yeah, sorry.
We're taping or recording you, Karsten.
Sorry, I took a bad beat. Sorry.
that's okay.
No worry.
That's the way poker works. All right, so against his check, this is not, we can certainly bet for thin value, right?
Yeah, it now gets interesting. So you're too far up in range to not value bet. So I would say I would use probably B75 here.
There we go. There's your B75.
Nice.
All right.
I like it.
Every bit of the play, Larry approved. Okay. Next one.
Yeah, this should this should fold a hero.
The 3-5 of clubs worked so well for him last hand that he's gonna do it again.
Well, I think that's in range for a button, isn't it?
3-5?
It's
No,
very cuspy.
it's in range
Uh,
for small
Don't
blind.
think so.
I'll open it on certain tables.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. It's in range.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not in solver range. That's the question. Is it
No,
in
it is.
solver range?
Really?
15% you open it.
I could see it having a sliver.
Not in this world. I mean,
Do
it's,
you really want to get in pre-flop battles? It seems like we've
Yeah.
got better, more interesting post-flop situations.
but there you go. It's not in this particular solver range. It probably exists in some. Moving on.
Wait, hang on. Which one
God.
do you have up?
I have 100. And I have 100 and NL50.
Oh, I'm at 150.
Yeah, at 150 different. There you go. And he's got where, and he's at 125, halfway between the two. So he opens it. Having opened it,
He's gonna steal.
yep, he's gonna get me. I need 6-3 there to defend.
Sure.
All right,
All right, heads up, no man's land.
no man's land.
So these ranges are really funky, right?
Yep.
Your range has gone from like, I think it's like 40% open to now, because you're in position, it's like 80% open.
Yeah, yeah. There's
I
almost no.
think it might have been more than 80. It might be close to 90.
It's
Oh, I
just,
think it's
When we
85.
looked at it, it was huge.
it's everything but the worst.
85.7%.
Oh, I lean more towards an 81.8.
Yeah.
But I'm a little mid.
There you go. This $3 size is probably unnecessary.
Now, I know you guys don't really like mixed strategies. Does that change heads up? Do you have more limps in your small blind heads up? Or
I
in
don't.
position heads up?
I don't. Let's see what
No.
it. Yeah,
Oh,
don't
okay.
bother with.
Interesting.
And
You're
also
in
the reason
position.
not to is that you're in position, so you've got you starting the hand with an inherent advantage. So you want to not limp because you have the advantage of playing in position.
Okay. I find this strategy rather fascinating just because I used to play like that and I started incorporating a mixed strategy and it's worked out much
Well,
better.
there's
for
a
me.
difference. If you're playing
fun.
heads up in MTTs,
Oh
there
yeah,
may be more limps,
lots of limps.
Okay. I've
but
carried over the heads up strategy to cash games as well. And I mean, at the stakes I'm playing, it doesn't really seem to have much
now
impact.
that, well,
Well,
it
here
is
you go.
different.
Look at it. The poker coaching one is filled with limps, so perfectly reasonable.
I think it really
Okay.
comes down to a rake, right? So how much is your rake tax? The less your rake tax, the more you're going to limp. The more your
Yep.
rake tax, the more you're incentivized to not limp.
Understood.
Right.
Understood.
And this raise to 3 because we're deeper than 100 seems unnecessary.
But in cash, crushing in cash, heads up, you want to be raising because you are especially online. If you take the pot down pre-flop, there's no rake.
Okay.
And that is a big difference why you don't have a limping range in cash as opposed to why you would in MTTs.
Right.
So how do you deal with the dynamic where you're getting a really high concentration of junky combos and you're against a competent opponent who is playing who's playing back at a bunch of your raising with bottom of range here? Are you just having to do a ridiculous amount of bluffing to win more than your share of pots that you're entitled to, or what?
There's a lot of
Well,
bluffing.
Let's
Yes.
look at the ranges right now.
All right. You're going to share it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're heads up, 100 big blinds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, this CEV, can I change this to?
I'm
No.
largely treating those limps with junky combos as a form of pot control, basically.
So this is with NL 25 rake. We're raising all of this
Wow.
81%.
Utilizing a min raise.
Yeah,
Wow.
and because we bet min raise, we get to bet more. If I
Mhm.
change this to the
2.5.
2.5,
Oh,
it's about the same.
go to 3. Let's see what it does at 3.
It
Yeah, 3 we
shrinks a
start
little
with.
bit.
3 we lose some. And one thing, it specifically says we're in the no limp variant.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, so let's see.
Well-
Do we have a?
There are
variance
no
any. We don't
there are
have a
no
limp
limp
variant.
variants, which means they never ran any,
Yeah,
which makes sense because heads up cash, you don't want a limp,
right. Looks good.
especially in position.
Yeah.
What if you go to
Okay.
NL 500 real quick? Are there limps there? Yeah, then we get some limps.
Here
Once
we
we
go.
get to 500. But yeah, this is a factor of rake, right?
Yeah.
Rake is so
Okay.
high in
Yeah.
NL 25.
Yeah, every
Well,
chart
it's
we've looked
an
at, it seems to be
incentivized.
consistent with that
Yeah.
rake factor that you
No
mentioned.
limit 500 is the best rake you're going to get. Let's see if
Yeah.
rake. Yeah, no limit 500 is 5% rake at 1/3 of a big blind cap.
And also, their rake is
Okay.
probably wrong. The cap for NL 25 is 30 big blinds. It's not 2 big blinds. 2
Wow.
big blinds would be like,
Negligible.
yeah, it's 50 cents, but that's not it. It's
Right.
a lot. It's 30 big blinds if you look at it.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I
Which
think
means
that
it's very
they
hard to
might
hit the
just
cap.
this might be run with just pre-flop rake average as opposed to whole hand rake.
That could make sense.
Yeah, because we don't
Actually,
have the post flop.
No,
Ever.
that makes sense.
All right, so we raise in the small blind. This is the big blind's response.
Yep.
So they get 25% 3-betting.
Yeah.
And some of it is like pure bluffing. And this is our response when we're 3-bet.
Yeah, we fold a ton. And then we
Mhm.
do it to him.
Okay.
And these are shoves.
100 big blind shoves. You do that to somebody a couple times, maybe they don't 3-bet you so much.
I mean, finding that with queen 10 suited is pretty ballsy, but
Yep.
The hands we call are pretty obvious, like suited aces, good suited hands, suited connectors, and like these middle low pairs.
But we do fold
Yeah,
a ton.
well, I wonder how much we're gonna be able to use these. I mean, do we play heads up that much?
No, actually, once a table gets heads up, I either leave the table or sit out.
Yeah, I don't
Yep.
really, I
That's what
usually
I think is
sit out.
about to
Unless
happen.
it's a very, very
Dep-
poor
depends
play.
on what color tag I have on the opponent. If it's a green tag, I'll play heads up all night.
Yep. And we'll see. I don't think this heads up game is gonna go very long. I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
be doing it very quickly.
Yeah, you get to fold.
Yeah, multi-tabling, it just takes too much of your attention when you have a bunch
Yeah.
of
Oh,
fours
yeah.
and
Yeah. Heads up is a nightmare.
I agree.
So we're gonna, okay, so yeah, I would fold those.
Yeah, I should.
Would it 7-5 off?
Yeah. I should just fold
Yeah,
it.
that folds 100%.
Yeah, just fold it.
I mean, heads up, I will play close to 100% of range and just mix
Oh.
in the occasional fold here and there just to show that I do indeed have a folding range, but I'm pretty comfortable with playing pretty much
That
any
works.
combo. heads
Again,
up.
that's an MTT thing.
Okay.
The big difference here is that a lot of your money is going to go to rake.
Okay.
So what you have is a pot odds call in an MTT. Now is losing 10% because of the rake.
Okay. It makes sense. I used to be more up on the math on how to actually calculate it and how that impacts the range and stuff, but I'm a little bit rusty in that
Yeah,
aspect. So
so for now, you don't have to calculate it. Just get used to the cache ranges and just, have a separate part of your brain that says, these are my cache ranges and they are much tighter and they are much tighter in the big blind compared
okay.
to an
I'm
empty.
getting there, Scotty. I'm getting there. Slowly.
Yep. All right, here we go. Larry, you're still up?
Okay, I'll do one more, two more, and then we can pass it on. Yeah, I mean, here you should go to 3 big blinds. Um, this should, well, 8-10 off. That is cuspy. I think that can RFI against some. That's really cuspy.
It's
So you should fold 8-10 off, depending on how spicy he feels. Yeah, he's on the cusp. 9-4, I think is a defend.
it's a fold. But it's right there on the edge.
Yeah.
Because, it's not particularly wrong for it.
Well, let's see what happens. I would check a lot here.
9-5 is a call, 8-4 suited mixes, 10-4 is a raise, 9-4 is, it's right in that range, so. Okay,
I would check a lot if I were villain 96.
but now you're villain 95.
Did villain 96 check?
Yep.
I don't think villain. I don't want to see so. I don't think villain 95 has a lot of incentive to bluff at that. Villain 96 can now make a small value bet because villain 95 is somewhat capped.
Yep. He doesn't. You've been checked to twice.
Yeah, he checked, I think, right?
Are you-
Yeah, I think you could start to stab at this. That's ridiculous.
Right. And by stab, you mean cut your own head off, right? That's what you mean by stab.
So so this is a very common blind versus blind scenario where someone goes a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
The Wild West.
It seems completely unnecessary.
So villain 96 is going to be well, it just doesn't seem like this doesn't seem like a good bluffing hand because you're not, you can't really improve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
now
said
what's
it, the
gonna happen?
sizing's ridiculous too.
But
Now,
you can
now
represent,
you've got to bluff at this if you're not 4.
Yeah.
Put 10-8 in hell. All
This
right,
is
now. This is interesting. I think 10-8's gotta fold, but I would roll this. I would roll this in game and I would roll to call it 20% of the time.
No, I don't think it has. In theory, I don't think it has any call.
Yep, I think that'd be a pure fold.
Yeah, well, my argument is that, so I took a Peter Clark class and he talked about blind versus blind and how population overbluffs. And because of that, we can call wider.
Yep.
Peter Clark has some classes on where
But-
he has taken MDA information and input it into Pile Solver and seen how if he adjusts Pio to what population does in a certain configuration, how we react. This kind, in his classes, this kind of hand becomes a marginal call in the wide versus wide range and heavy bluffing environment of blind versus blind.
Mm-hmm.
gotcha. That queen of diamonds, which did not do anything for his hand, did do something for what he was representing. So,
It certainly is, yeah.
Mhm,
This is
Yeah.
a great card for him to continue to bluff.
and he did it.
The villain 95 probably is from a stable. This is probably a stable play.
We're gonna watch him. We're gonna watch
Do you
that.
guys like his sizing?
I mean, no, I don't, but this seems like a highly exploitative play to me, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like he's risking a lot to win, not that much.
Oh, I
Mhm.
But
agree.
I wonder if this is something that a stable would
Okay.
recommend. I would imagine no, because he has no potential equity improvement here. I think this is just
Yeah.
someone going crazy.
Yeah, bluffing with no equity.
Alright,
It's-
let's step back. I didn't see the whole hand. I was starting to get some food ready for my son who just got home from school.
This is the hand.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah. Check, bet, check, overbet, call, check,
Villain
overbet.
96. Villain 96 should have bet somewhere before Villain 95 ever got a chance to bet.
Mhm.
So like right here on the turn is a time to bet.
Yeah, either the flop or the turn. He has to put one of them out.
Right.
I don't mind the
I'm gonna
flop check,
counterpoint.
but I think
I'm
he
gonna
definitely
say
has
he's
to
gonna
bet
be
on
checking
on
quite a
turn.
bit in both nodes. Like even when he checks the flop, he's gonna check a lot again on the turn.
Specifically to
But-
try to get this to happen. He likes that. It's just that now he doesn't like it anymore.
When
I mean,
that flop
keeping
goes
deuce
check,
there.
check, I'm definitely firing out of turn or out of position, delay turn C bet.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm doing at least the
Definitely.
delayed turn C bet.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I think you're going to a lot, but I'm telling, I like my guess assessment is that solver's gonna like to continue to check.
There's a lot. When solver tells the checking story, it stays with a lot. And if you just look at this is what you want to have happen when you have top
How-
down,
How deep did they start? 100?
yeah, 100.
I just want to look at real quick. 6 max, 100,
Yeah, exactly 100.
2.5.
Not exactly.
Yeah, I mean, solver's gonna fold here at a very high frequency, if not pure, but Peter's argument is that blind versus blind is heavily overbluff.
Right.
And for that, we are allowed to hear a call with a broader part of our range.
And I'm assuming that it's heavily
10 of
overbluffed
spades, 5 of spades, 7 of
because you
diamonds.
just have to, right?
Sorry,
That's-
say it again.
It's overbluffed because you just have to overbluff because
Yeah.
your ranges are so wide.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at solver versus solver and blind versus blind, there's also a lot of bluffing that goes on.
All right. Did you want to
Oh,
run the
what was the turn card?
turn is the deuce of diamonds,
2 diamonds.
followed by queen of diamonds for the drama.
And what size would you have preferred for that river
Well, you know what?
river
The
bluff?
the double check is actually more solver approved. I probably would have bet by the turn.
Yeah.
I would
Check.
have if I was taking villain 95's line, and it probably wouldn't have worked the way I did it, I would have bet around 4 to 6 here. I would not have overbet the pot.
Mhm, mhm,
Um,
mhm.
I would have done
And
a healthy probe here, and then if I decided to bet this, I would have just bluffed pot.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
It might not have worked though, but I would have done that. All right. Do you want to show it, Joey?
10-8 mixes. Well, everything else was like pretty much solver approved.
Mhm.
And then 10-8 mixes on the river.
Mixers calls. What about, and was his sizing a thing? Take a look at that, because
I can't imagine his overbet with no
That's what-
equity is
that's
a thing.
that's what King's question.
There is some. What did he have?
He had 9-5 of 9-4 of clubs. Right, which is a fold. So let's give him the 9.
Yeah. 9-4 clubs isn't even in range.
Yeah.
Um. 9-5
But
is a
9-6 is-
pair.
9-6. 9-6 is a real draw,
9-6 is a draw.
a genuine draw.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
can't really give him anything really
done.
close to this without.
No. Nope.
So 10-8 is a call on the river, like some percentage of the time
It mixes, yeah.
to an overbet like that.
Interesting.
With the diamond blocker.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And our
We did
hero
not.
does not have a diamond blocker. Yep, so there you go. Well played. All right, who wants to call the next one? Who wants to call the next couple rounds?
Alright, I will take some, but
Okay.
you have to know on the clock and
Gotcha. Okay,
I
'cause
I can take
today
some
we
whenever
just-
too.
I just did the nasty letters to people who didn't pay their rent yet,
right, see if they're gonna call
and
you,
I'm getting a whole bunch of them calling.
right? Okay, why don't you do a couple and then and then King four after you. All right, Joey, you're up.
I don't see anything.
Oh, that's because I haven't hit the button. There we go. I was gonna make you do it blind like Vanessa Selbst.
Oh, is Jack 5 a post or?
Jack five is a post.
Yeah.
We have a
Okay,
we have a
so
broken stack posting. Oh, that's good.
it's probably limps around. I would fold 6, 7 off. Population, I think might call it. 10-3 is gonna check. Check, check should happen. He should probably still check one. What the hell is he calling with?
Straight drop.
Jack, terrible.
That's
Straight drop.
silly though. That's ridiculous.
That's too
Good
large a
job.
bet to call with a gut shot.
Yeah, we got
100%.
shot and only one card to come.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So I want to say something about gut shots and one card to come and two cards to come. So not only when you've got only one card to come, do you have a lower chance of making it, you also make less money from it because there's only one betting round for it.
Hmm.
When your gut shot comes in on the turn, you also get 2 shots of betting. So it's, I mean, it's way more valuable.
Oh, and he posted on a broken stack.
Yeah. We were very happy when we saw this hand. This hand is making us happy.
Yeah.
But having gotten the call,
So now the 10 should just check.
Yep.
He's got a bluff. I don't know, I think
Yeah.
it mixes because you do have third pair, but you have you have the worst third pair.
I think you got to fold it because
Yeah,
before you know that villain is a terrible player and you think about the range that can call your bet, it's almost all of it beats you.
Absolutely.
But
I has a pair. I'm not folding.
yep, I has a pair. And now everyone furiously scribbles notes.
Hmm.
Scribble, 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 scribble.
All right, ace 10 opens. I don't defend jack 10 on the button to an open. Yeah,
Seems pretty standard.
and not much to see here. 4-6 might. Yeah,
Mm.
4-6 should open or call.
Joey, king two in the cutoff.
It's too low for the solver, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. You could.
Is the deuce out of there?
Yeah, it's
No,
king.
not
Oh,
in
no,
the
wait.
cutoff.
Yeah, it's the button is king deuce, king 4 in the cutoff, king 5, and king 4 mixes in the cutoff. And
Oh
king,
gosh, I would have thought king three for at
wait a
least.
minute, maybe I'm wrong. No, king 3 in the
No,
cutoff.
it's king
king
3
three.
in the cutoff.
It's king 3 in the cutoff. It's king 4 mixing in the hijack. That's what it is.
Those
Yep.
low suited kings, they can be so variable depending on the
Yep.
table dynamics that are
Yep.
going on.
He goes for it. And having gone
So
for it,
the 4-6 is a fold, jack 5. Oh, that's close.
Mhm.
Trying to picture it in my head. I may defend jack 5, but I'm not sure that the chart does.
not against the
And I
cutoff.
think
It doesn't.
I think it might have some 3 betting too.
Jack 7 maybe.
Yeah, here's here's what these people like to do.
I could see some 3-betting going on there, but
We're going to do the 6 max version.
could be entirely wrong.
Yep. In the 9 max version that I know, it's a fold. But let's see here, and the rake is NL 50.
Not GG.
Right,
GG.
there's the NL 50. There it is. Okay, good. Yep,
Oh,
so we
wow.
are off
Well
raise.
outside.
No, we weren't there yet. Cutoff raise,
Oh,
blind.
oh, my bad. Okay,
Yeah,
just
it's one
outside.
pip away.
Cusp.
Yeah, here's some bluffing.
Yeah,
Seems about right.
Jack 7.
Yeah, Jack 7, definitely. So, comes in.
Yeah, the
4-6 is
now
a bad
Jack
player.
5 should. Jack 5 should definitely fold.
Yep, now,
Now it's multi-way.
right, and so now I've made this mistake on the idea of, I think he's terrible. I have position on him who's terrible, but that's not what I'm looking for, and I'm suited. But that's
He
not,
only, you
that's
don't,
not,
I wouldn't worry about playing with a fish that only has $17 on the table.
yep, that's also,
I was just gonna ask if he had a full stack, is defending that big blind a little more acceptable? I would think it would be.
yeah, but even then, it's bad. I mean,
Okay.
look how far off
Well,
that is.
what's the EV?
Okay.
Look at the EV. If it's close,
It's just zero.
Just those
hmm,
suited combos can play so well post flop, you know, I don't really mind seeing a flop.
Yeah,
with
but
a
they go
combo
down
like
in
that.
value against
I
20 big
think
blinds.
For
I
sure,
think
for
this
sure.
one might be too far, but if you want to add some hands, because your equity will be slightly higher with the fish in the hand, maybe something that's negative 0.05. Like
Okay.
look at Queen Jack 7 suited.
Yeah, okay, sure.
That's right around.
I mean, I would defend those for sure. Queen 7, Jack 7 suited. Those are in my defending range.
I mean, the thing you're saying about things being suited, I'm with you, but look at how much suited stuff we get to have. Take all your,
Mhm.
make all these pure, take all your king deuces in this, and you got, and all this, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I always think these ranges are kind of scuffed, because if you look at small blind's calling range, it's like 0.5.
Yeah, it's weird. He
And
should
Yeah,
so
that's a good
calculate it
point.
off this.
I just think that just, I just think we can't take big
But-
blinds flattening range at full value here, because small blind's range is just not what it is in reality.
Right. But we can take the theory that, the more players in the hand, the tighter you need to be, and Jack 5 suited is dog shit.
Yeah,
And
For
al-
sure. For sure.
Also, small blind just called.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about a small blind range here. I'm worried about the player who raised.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that's more important for the big blind than the small blind call range.
It's just 2 extra cards there. I think I think this is a bad call here. Not just looking at the charts. I think that this is just a bad idea.
Okay.
And I don't know who did it.
man, we need the hair to get rewarded for his bad play. What's up? Come
Yes,
on.
just did. Oh, no. Someone else got rewarded for their bad play.
This is supposed to check through.
What is that? Good
So,
God, man.
yeah, we want to be in with this guy. Not that hand, but we
No.
want to be in with this guy.
Can we see can you go back to what equity King 2 had? I'm just curious.
Oh, at this moment,
Post flop, yeah. So
after I
Big blind
check.
King
folds.
two
it,
is not in range.
Right.
big blind
After-
folds.
Yeah, when I fold,
So
It-
your equity, yeah.
they're pretty terrible. I have more because I have a 5. My 5 is really valuable here.
Yeah.
Yep. But
God, that's insane. What an
There you go.
insane hand.
let's see all right, this is our guy, Villain 98.
Okay, so King's gonna raise. Bill 98 is not folding.
Just a question here, guys. So let's
Folding
move
this
back
one.
to the beginning of this hand.
Yeah.
So now we know we've got an absolute freak maniac on a short stack. In button, right?
Yeah.
UTG opens, low jack opens. You've got kings. Do you now ever
No, nobody
flat
opened.
trap?
Oh, you mean
I'm-
if,
I'm giving a hypothetical.
oh, gotcha. Okay, I'm back.
So let's say hypothetically, low jack RFIs to a regular size. You've got kings in the cutoff. Is it ever worth it to trap with the plan to back jam any weirdness from 9-4.
Um,
I
It would
say
be
no,
an
I do it with
extreme
aces, but
individual.
Here's the thing, though. You have not detected the behavior you're just saying. We didn't see. He didn't raise pre-flop either time.
He
He
did,
put
he
crazy
did,
on the flop.
he did donk shove on flop.
Right, on the right. So, but you're saying about with the intention of back jamming. I don't think you're, we have no reason to
No, I
think
don't
that he's
think
gonna
he's
three
talking
bet.
about backjamming.
Well, I'm just saying, do we
Um,
want to trap allowing this guy to do crazy shit?
Sure.
I see what you're saying. I
No,
think it
I
takes a very
see-
special individual to really start making that line.
I don't think I would.
Okay,
in my opinion, with kings, it just leaves you too vulnerable to all of these hands that can
Well,
have any ace X in
Yeah.
range. With aces, I think it's much, much better, but even that's going to be low frequency play for me. I'll do it at some frequency, but not with kings.
my full reasoning is the fish only has $25.
Yeah.
It's not worth to target him for only 25 when the player who opened in front of you has 100.
Yeah,
fair enough.
It's the 100
Yeah.
stack that I want to go after, not the 25 stack.
yeah.
I would
And-
say I've been in that situation where I have taken that line, and it takes basically if somebody's been at this table and they've just been open shoving, like it's happened. Well, I've seen it
Yeah.
with players that are
Lunatic.
absolute maniacs, and they'll come in and they just start shoving every hand at whatever. Then I think that's the only time I would ever consider it.
Okay,
And
Sure.
plus, take into account if under the gun opened and we called, what typically happens at lower stakes is now it's going to go 4 or 5 ways.
And that we hate.
Once you have the first call, then other people feel like they're induced to call because they're getting, and you can't see my air quote, pot odds.
Mhm.
I
Alright.
can see your air quote. Okay. Are we still alive?
I'm here.
we're here.
Okay, great. So, so Joey's prediction is 9-4 calls. I think 9-4 is folding this. I don't think he's that.
Scotty, I
somewhere?
need a minute
Yep,
or
you
two
go.
while my son's food is done.
You go. All right. There we go. All right. All right, King, you're up.
Okay. It's gonna fold to button. Ace 10 is going to RFI. King 9 should fold. King 7 probably defends.
Should fold, but he might defend.
I would expect him to defend.
But he should, it's definitely, he should fold.
What's bottom of defender range there? King 9? King 9 off?
Against the button, King 9.
Okay.
And King 9 defends but with a mixture of raises and calls and the
Okay.
frequency is about 50-50 against the button
Okay.
from 9.
Okay, sure.
King 8 is the small blind, yeah. And so the number, this is a pattern that's really fun to see. Your offsuit defenses from the big blind against the small blind are 8s. Mostly they bluff, but they are there. Offsuit 8s against the button, offsuit 9s against the cutoff, offsuit 10s against the hijack, offsuit jacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very nice progression. The ace at least lags it. So the ace is going to be at least one lower, sometimes more.
Okay. Gotcha.
So there you go.
All right, I'm back.
All right. All right. You're
Takes
back to you,
brain.
Joey. Well, and then
Eight's open, ace, king, 3 bets, eight's call. Oh,
Good.
wait,
He
that's the
limps.
fish.
right.
Yeah.
So ace, king should make it at least 5, 6.5.
Yeah.
That's too small.
Right.
for
And he's
out of
going to get
position.
called because that's the thing that Villain 98 has shown himself to be. That's the kind of fish he is. So get the money from him.
I think Villain 98 is gonna shove.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see.
I could see it.
Oh,
Yeah.
nicely done. Go, Larry.
You have to call that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Never fold.
No.
And now just now villain 98 has some money. Good. Now maybe we can get it from him.
Win it back in a few hands, exactly.
That's what we're gonna go for. All right.
Oh, we have a poster.
We have a poster.
I would still ISO in the button. And everybody should theoretically fold.
Right. And his ISO size here is good. It's interesting that his ISO size here is good and against the other one was small. Maybe he was trying to induce. Maybe he was purposefully going smaller than normal.
I would guess, I think that's probably a good guess.
Because this one's a little, oh, whoa.
Was villain 95 the same guy who pulled off the super bluff with, the no equity hand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the overbet.
But I don't know if it's the same
Yeah.
villain 95. They left the table, so I think it's a different villain 95.
Okay.
Okay. So this is
Surprisingly,
interesting. So I
six
think you gotta
suited
fold.
is in here.
So villain 97 is aware that villain 95
Fine.
might be ISOing line.
Yeah,
Level 2 thinking, dudes.
right. No, so the deuce four calls. All right,
I mean,
there-
the play looks kind of silly on its face here, but like if you
Yeah.
have some sort of a read
No.
on the player, is that a fine combo to do such a thing with?
yeah, yeah.
Six is actually gonna be a fairly, it's one of those weird solver likes it.
Yeah,
I personally, in this situation versus a poster and an ISO, I think it's not good, but yeah, I think
I
you're
can
gonna
kind of visualize
here.
the range there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely king 6 goes into your 4-bet bluff range sometimes.
Yeah.
So it does make sense.
Have one of those C-shaped ranges or whatever.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
This should be a walk to the big blind. Ain't that like the fourth time you got a walk, Scotty?
I'm a good player. They all respect me.
He's forcing them.
There's gonna be a bit of fireworks here.
Yeah. I'm
King,
not,
queen suited can 3-bet or it can call.
Look at that
I think with the
RFI
larger,
size.
with the larger sizing, I think I would lean to call.
I
So-
agree.
What about the fact that it's a broken still? How does that change your range?
Oh, wow.
yeah,
I would call because I wouldn't want him to shove everything in front. I wanna
Yeah.
see a flop before committing.
okay.
Yeah, I think this is a call at this broken stack. Cause this
Yeah.
guy's just declared, I've got a great hand.
And I don't lose any money. There we go.
Miracle flop.
Justice.
Let's see if, let's see what happens here.
What are you looking for here, Joey?
Well, I'm thinking ace king can. Alright, theory, ace king should probably check range here.
Yep.
I don't think he will.
We saw it blind versus blind, but I would bet that exists in other things, which is just on monochrome boards out of position, we check range.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry, this was single raise pot, right?
Single raise
Okay,
pot.
okay,
And
okay.
whenever you're playing out of position versus the button. Almost all boards are heavy checked.
Mhm.
And the exceptions are ace, king X or king XX.
Okay.
That's when the out of position would have bets into the button.
Mm-hmm.
And this is definitely not one of those boards, so I would say it's at heavy check to probably check range.
Right.
Yeah, I tried to see bet with range advantage, and in single raise pot, my checks out of position go up significantly.
Here we go. And that's not gonna work. It worked.
Wow.
That shouldn't have worked.
No, that's silly.
That should not have worked.
Sizing scared him, I guess.
It
I mean,
did.
he should still call off with 40% of his range.
Yeah.
And if he's
Yeah.
folding top pair, he's not defending 40% of his range.
Exactly. And if he's gonna do this, why did he call king, queen? If you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Now, that got rewarded. All right. Three more hands,
You
Joey?
have to know when you're calling a short stack that it might all go in on the flop.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, someone's knocking on my door. One sec, I'll be right back.
Joey?
Alright, so Jack Queen's a raise. 10-8 defends. I think 10-8 could mix. I might find some 3 bets with this.
This is against hijack.
But I'm fine with a call there too.
Yeah, against hijack, 10-7. 10-7 raises about a quarter of the time against hijack, and 10-8 is calls, but the difference is not important. Let's check that. Here's hijack raising, big blind versus the hijack. Come on, 10-7. There's the 10-7. There's the 10-8. But how
There's a
long?
little bit. It's in
Yeah,
this,
just a little
it's
bit.
in the right area.
And look at it. It's surrounded by it. It's not, so that's not bad.
You think I worry about those minutiae details when I'm thinking
No.
about pre-betting?
No, I'm just remembering it. Absolutely. That's what that's what I'm agreeing with you with. I'm saying 10-7
Yeah.
does it. The other ones around it do it. So how bad is it? Can't be that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not doing it is fine too.
So it should go check bet fold.
Hey, look at the size of that bet. That is a man who has confidence. All right.
I think I fold ace-5 on the cutoff.
I'm
Queen
raising
10
it.
I open. 3 should 3-bet. And then Queen 10 should fold. I would 4-bet it sometimes.
So this ace-5 here is like a
Mhm.
75% open. So I should only be doing it if the 5 was a spade, but I'll probably do it anyway.
I
There we
can't imagine threes being a 3-bet though.
Just with his specific stack, or
Oh, you're guessing that he's going to because of the stack size?
Oh, no. I would 3-bet it
yeah, I would too.
That's-
versus a button open.
It's
But now it's cut off open.
definitely not solver approved, I don't think.
Did I ever ask if a 3-bet is solver approved?
No, but I think our learning exercises here are based on that.
Or to know
No,
both.
it's not solver approved,
Yeah.
but
Would it not polarize some of those low pocket pairs?
Why
No,
not?
no, actually, to be honest, I think in the small blind, you probably fold everything below 6s.
Oh, okay, okay.
We don't need this. We don't need this noise.
No, there's a sliver on 4s. You can
Yeah,
extend
there's a
that to
sliver-
3s.
there's a
No,
sliver on all of them. I'm saying, I was specifically saying we don't need this.
understood. Understood.
We can
I
do it.
gotcha.
We don't need it. You can take
Sometimes I need it.
all of
If
can
I'm
take-
looking at my stats and I've played 100 hands and I got a 4% 3-bet, I gotta do something about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? That's actually exactly when I'll start mixing that in. Yeah,
There we go. All right, so
that makes sense.
having this raise, now the queen 10 is having the ace-5 raise, everything changes.
Yeah, I think from the cutoff, the 3 should fold.
I think they're not going to, and I don't think they're gonna 3-bet. I think they're gonna call. I think the queen 10 is also on a small stack. I think it's gonna call, he might call. He does. Oh, he
Yeah.
raises. Now the
I
3's
might
gonna
go-
get the hell out of the way.
I may find a couple of the queen 10 3-bets there.
Yeah, yeah.
I like, against a late position raise, I like using offsuited broadways.
Now it's getting bizarre.
You would never be playing a stack that small, though, would you, Joey?
Oh, God, no.
No,
Okay, okay, okay.
No. But this is entertaining because clearly he's getting the odds to set mine. Because that's what it is. You need 5-1 out of position to set mine, right? And the real number is 15-1?
Yes, 15-1.
15-1 out of position to set mine, right? Okay. So this would have been fine if we were playing, 100. 100 deep. I don't think you should do it because he's not closing the action. But at 100 big blinds deep, you're getting 15-1 for $6. There we go. And now the ace five is.
Yeah, if the cutoff open pocket threes.
Yeah.
Calling with the pocket threes would be okay.
Yeah.
But when you're third into the pot and both ranges are uncapped, just let the threes go.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And here,
Because there's no guarantee you're still gonna see a flop.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
this ace five seems like an easy fold here.
I never looked at four bets. Alright, so. Button three bet, small blind does have some. Oh, wait,
Small blind didn't four bet. Small blind flatted.
I can't give a call.
Yeah.
So I mean, button's got a
Doesn't exist.
bet here.
We are
I
out
mean,
of, we are out of the world of solvers.
Yeah,
Yeah, button's
I
got
was
a
just
bet
trying,
here.
I was curious about. If we could give the small blind a call, what our four bet range would look like with the overcall.
Right.
But the solver doesn't give him a call range.
Nope. So I think this is gonna go check bet fold, or should. Oh no. This is the guy.
Ugh,
That's insane.
This is our guy. He
it's
was,
annoying.
he may be the same guy.
Unfortunately, he's moved out of position of you.
Yeah, he has. All right.
We've got him in.
Okay, so, Castle, you're up.
Who's up?
Let me get the. Who is, let's go to,
He's not on anymore.
We're
he-
down to
oh.
6.
oh, he's
I-
down. Okay, who's up? There you are.
What? Sorry, am I up?
Yep, you're up.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I
You,
heard something.
you
Okay.
said castle.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
I said Castle. I got it wrong. All right.
Okay, deuces, button cut deuces should open. I would, yeah, okay.
You can fold there.
They're
with
optional.
twos.
Yeah,
They're optional.
like I mix based on the tables, those low pocket pairs.
Yeah.
So if he folds, king 10 should definitely open. Fours should probably defend, but I could see them jamming and putting the short stack all in.
So the reason that I think the deuces are a good fold here is because of how we've seen the play from these short stacks.
Also, you just don't have the implied
Sure.
odds here. For what
Right.
you're really after.
I am much more inclined to fold these low pocket pairs if there are short stacks behind me for
They're
sure.
short stacks and they're crazy short stacks, so.
Okay, deuces
that's what I-
fold for
that's
sure.
fold.
King 10 definitely opens. Four is either going to call or raised. Queen 9 should not have called.
Good.
Yeah, I like this jam by the fours, honestly.
Yeah, he's just
I really-
decided that these guys are bad.
Let's see if villain 96 calls it off. Nope.
Nope. All right.
Okay, fold. Small blind raise
Actually,
because it's a
in that
casual,
spot-
and then big blind folds.
In that spot, I think the big blind is 100% call. On the pocket fours.
Oh, you mean instead of doing this fun?
So what you've got
With the
a
short stacks?
35 big blind stack and a 20 big blind stack. The
See,
35 big
in-game-
blind stack is capped. I think that I would consider I think this is a little low. I think I consider it with 8s plus.
I don't know, just in game, this RFI player is going to be unpaired ace X, unpaired king X so much of the time. And when you jam, button's going to be folding most of the time too. And then when you do get called, you're going to be flipping like the vast majority of the time. So
Yeah.
I really don't hate the jam.
I think I'd do it with like 7s
It's
or 8s.
not an MTT. You don't want to flip with rake.
Okay, you see, this is news to me. I don't know this theory.
Yeah, think about it. If you're each 50% to win and someone else comes in and says, but I would like to take 10% of that pot, please.
So
Okay,
it
let me
seems
ask
like
you, what about this question? Is there a jamming range here? As opposed to a 3-bet
Yes.
range?
There is a jamming range.
And so
Um,
where does that start with pairs?
Hey, Oh,
With pairs, I think
It's a
it's
good
around
question.
tens, jacks, queens.
Yeah, I think I'd make it a little
Scotty,
lower. Make
give
it
me,
ace.
give me sharing.
okay.
Give me sharing, please.
Oh, okay. Please give me sharing.
Castle.
Okay,
King.
so
King. That was why I didn't remember. I called you Castle because a king was
Okay.
Castle.
Okay, you know what? That makes sense. All right, I know where it
That's
came
where
from.
it came from.
I'm doing
Okay.
this. I'm doing this on a 40 big blind stack
Okay.
because he has 35 to
Yeah.
open.
Yeah. Well, let's
So
do
cut off
40 and then let's
open,
do them 30.
button call
Yeah.
is the big blind range. There's a little bit with fives. I guess fours can't be horrible.
Yeah.
But in this, fours are a pure call.
Sure.
And ace, king, ace, queen is kind of typical the first two that want to start shoving.
Right. Let's take that
And
same
it's
down
usually
to 20.
somewhere around here. When there's mixed, usually aces, kings, and queens go small. And then the bigger raises usually come from like jack 10, 9 range. And then you do see this quite often with some of the suited broadways too. And either ace, king, ace, queen.
I don't know.
Take
This
it-
range is very intuitive to me. This makes a lot
Yeah,
of sense.
makes a lot
Like,
of
I
sense.
would implement this in game
Yeah.
a lot.
Take this one down to 20. Let's just see how it changes.
20. So cutoff, call. We were big blind, right?
Yep. Big blind.
Well, now
Similar-
we don't have small three bets.
Yeah.
But fours are still a pure call.
Yep.
I don't know why fives are in there mixing like this.
You can make the wheel.
Just so theoretical at that point. Like in practice, you can pip the fours at the same
Sure.
frequency, and it's the same. Honestly, give you
Yeah.
the same results.
I think I prefer to call the fives instead of having any of the shoving with the fives.
So does Solver. Solver does it more often.
Yeah.
Okay. There may be. I wonder how much of it is also you got a little bit of you guys are idiots tilt.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah,
Well,
I've
that's a
seen
big
enough.
factor for me. Like when I see that dynamic going on, like I'm looking to rip it.
Yep.
Okay. Fold. Small blind is going to raise and should get the fold from big blind. Yes.
Oh, we're back
We
to
did
this.
this
Okay,
already.
we just finished the hands. Okay,
Okay.
so that's the last hand of the sequence. I gotta open up some more hands. All right.
Yeah, I
So
recognized it. I'm paying attention. Sweet.
beautiful. All right, here we go. So let's take a look what the number of this hand is. View hand details. We've now gone up to 4502.
How long are these sessions that you're normally playing when you're
I
pulling
don't
these
know.
hand histories
I
from?
don't know. We'll see. This one, I don't think I'm leaving this one until those guys leave the table.
Yeah.
I believe that's what's going on here. I think I will be here for a while unless I had to go out to a show.
Because I'll play like 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half sometimes. Sometimes I'll play 10, 11, 12 hours, depending on what's going on. So
I mean, I've done the massively long schedule. I've also done, I've done the all night things where you should go to sleep. And that was my biggest tilt problem was not.
Okay.
Was I should be doing something else and I'm not. I think that was more than my play got worse. And my play does get worse, of course, like everyone's. But I
Okay.
think the biggest tilt is I'm not leaving.
Okay.
You guys can't beat me. This is not right.
Well, that's one of the reasons I went over to cash.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, like, playing MTTs, you could end up playing, if you're doing well, you're going to play till 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I just can't do that anymore.
Oh yeah, dude, I used to play all day. I was paying my bills from low stakes MTTs. Like the hours I put in were just unbelievable. Like switching to cash it's been very good. Like
Now
it's
I
just
have the
insane.
flexibility cash. If I want to play 2 hours, I'll go on 2 hours and play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
4, 5,
Absolutely.
07, 07, 13, 54. That's the hand we just left off at. So here we go. We'll grab a few of these. That's enough.
So the only live game that I have available around me is at it's this place called Casino Rama. They do a 15% rake. It's insane, insane
That's
rake.
beatable.
Oh,
It's unbelievable. Otherwise, I have to go to Montreal.
hurts my soul.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, I don't think
nuts.
we could beat that rank.
Yeah. It's 15 capped up to what, $200, I think, on like $1,000 pot or some shit like that.
Wow.
I don't know. It's insane.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Second time I ever played live, I played a 36-hour session.
That's not healthy.
Yeah, I figured that out.
All right, let's see, did we just do this hand? This is the hand we just did? All right, next hand. You're up, kings.
Okay, fold, button opens, small blind, 3 bets. What's the sizing here? 3,
So we've changed
3, 6.
stakes. Can we put this in big blinds, please?
Yes,
That would be great. Most people complain when I ask for that,
there
so.
we go. Show chips and big blinds.
Okay,
We're
yeah,
at a di-
2, 4.
we're
Actually,
at a
yeah,
different
no, I
table.
like his sizing.
We're at a different
And,
table.
I
By
think
the
it
way.
should be 12.5 or maybe a little more in solver, but this is fine.
yeah, I think baseline should probably be closer to that, but this exact specific combo probably doesn't mind sizing down like a big blind or so. Obviously, big blind folds. Button probably, yeah, okay. 2, 11, 11, 12, 23.
That's a nice
Sizing
sizing.
seems, yeah, that's.
I like the, in position, you don't have to go more than double.
Yeah, any bigger, it would make more sense to jam.
Yeah.
And yeah, ace king suited probably just rips it here. Against button sizing, that looks like aces a lot of the time. Aces are kings, but like you're not
You're
getting
blocking
away
it.
from.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not getting away from ace king hearts,
You're just
obviously.
putting it in.
So
Yeah, this
Actually, I
hand-
think either ace king or ace queen probably have some shoving from the button after the 3-bet. Like the one
Oh,
we saw
probably.
earlier, like ace king, ace queen, maybe pocket tens, and a couple suited broadways might have some shoves.
Mm-hmm.
I would think so.
Yep.
But ace king should call this here and
Yep.
just runs out, right? Like
At this morning in a game in Nick's tournament, I believe it was Nick's tournament where we saw it. Ace king ended up against 2 hands, and the hands were aces and kings.
hmm
Pain.
Exact blocking all the hands you supposedly block. All right.
it happens.
Yep. There we go. And how much
Pretty
do they lose
standard.
for doing this? They lose. Does it show?
Well, go back to dollars.
I know. I'm just seeing if they. Yeah. Do they show how much he loses?
Well, it's 8 times 0.5.
Okay.
Like
that's
what, due to
$4?
rake?
So
I'm-
$4
Okay.
went to Rick.
$4 went to rake. Show chips.
All right, go back to the original stacks.
They were 100. They started. Oh wait. 101. You're right. So hold on. Here we go.
101,
Exactly
23.
100. He's exactly 100. It's exactly 100 big blinds. So he starts with $50 and he ends up with 48.25. So they each lose buck
$1.75.
Yeah, 350.
I didn't realize how substantial rake actually is. Like I see how it
7
impacts
big
these
blinds.
ranges so drastically now.
7 big blinds came out of this pot,
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
No, that's insane.
right?
Yeah, that's why you don't really want to flip.
Yeah.
Because you're losing money on a flip
Yeah.
Oh, I'm starting to understand
in
that.
cash.
Yep. All right. Back to show chips and big blinds. All
You
right.
know, it's funny. Have you ever been in this situation where you're get to a point where there's a 4 straight on the board and it's, it's like an ace, like it's a
Yeah.
Broadway straight and it's clear that both players are going to have this hand. And have you ever just kind of been like, I'm just going to call because I don't want to jam because I know we're just going to split and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
save like whatever you save in rake.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
So solver will
way-
do that in rare occasions as well. Solver will make that play.
I was taught like you should never be calling with the intention to chop. I was taught that that was a very bad play.
Yeah. Sometimes you end up having to do it, but yes, you want to avoid.
If-
The way I think of it is you should avoid calling with the intention of chopping, but sometimes they just make you do it.
Yeah, okay, like when it's very, very obvious, like when it's 4 straight on the board and both players are like very heavily weighted toward ace X and you're
And
both
you've
just
also
gonna
put
chop
in-
it with a straight.
And you've put in, it's not like you've put in $2 and then they bet $98 and you go, we're gonna chop, I'll save the rake. And so
Okay,
However-
okay,
you
okay,
put in
okay.
$60 and
However,
you bet
it-
another 40. Go on.
If you both have the ace high straight and there's no flush on the board, the casino's gonna make out because you're forced to raise.
That's what I'm saying, Joey. Like you're in
Okay.
a situation and you're like, you have the nuts and you're supposed to raise, but you're just going to chop. I've actually considered, look, I'm just going to call this and chop it with him so we don't pay as much rake.
I
So
don't
that's
know if there's a
theoretically the
penalty for
reason-
not raising with the nuts. in
That's
cash.
theo-
There is in
that's
tournaments because it
theoretically
affects
accurate.
everyone else, but I don't think there is in cash.
There's no rule in cash in the casinos I
Yeah.
play. The
Tournaments
casinos
there
I
is.
play, and there are people who have check down agreement. I hate it, who have an agreement that when the two of them are heads up, they don't bet at all. And
That's
it's
so
open.
stupid.
Yeah, it's the rule,
I hate
and
it.
it's disagreement, and I think it's collusion. But
I agree.
but it has not affected the play enough.
Well, no, I actually used to call the floor when I played MTTs, and if they would say anything or signal anything to check down,
Yeah,
I would call the
Dude, that's
floor.
clear collusion.
Yeah,
No question.
they're not gonna do anything, but just the fact if they say something to them,
Yeah.
Mhm.
they'll learn that what they're doing is not right.
Yeah.
It's highly unethical, if not outright collusion.
So I have a question on that, which is, let's say you're in a tournament, someone is all in, the two of you are there. If both of you are studied, you know that the best thing for both of you is to check it down. If you
That
say
should
the
just
other guy-
happen though.
No,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
I'm saying two people who are studied would know that that the right thing to do is to check it down. It is obviously against the rules to turn to one of them and say, we should check this down. But is this out of line? Is this angle shooting? Is it where you turn to the one guy and you go, check?
I would think so.
You know what
Yeah,
I
if
mean?
you say it like that.
Yeah.
I just tap the table. I don't say anything.
Right. But is doing that kind of nonsense, is that angle shooting? Is that collusion? Or is that just poker?
I don't see how that doesn't like turn a whole bunch of heads in that specific scenario.
No,
Like, that's-
collusion is when you plan out. If you
Right.
both know you're supposed to check and you both check without anybody cluing or saying anything, then
Right. I'm with you on that, Joey. I'm completely agreeing with you. I'm saying is the thing I just did, is that over the line? Does that count? Is that the same as saying we should both check it down?
I think
would
that's
think so.
starting to,
It's
Yeah.
right there.
it's
like-
at the very least, it's starting to push the line somewhere.
Thank you.
Your definition of you're communicating your intent there.
Okay, thank you. All right,
yeah,
you're
I
up.
agree with that.
And
up,
to be
Dennis.
honest,
Okay.
I don't check down 100% of pots and MTTs.
No, but there are times that there are times that it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, what's that
Right,
called?
but-
It's called implied in collusion or implicit collusion, where it's acceptable because it's what you do.
But I end up betting out when my opponents are expecting me to check.
Hmm.
Because if I hit a value hand high enough, I still want to get my value.
Mhm.
It depends on what's the value of this player busting versus my value gaining from getting called with this bet.
Right. So for example, you're on the bubble. You're on the stone bubble. The value of
On
that
the stone bubble, I would need the near nuts.
yeah, right. This guy getting knocked out is to your tremendous advantage. Yep.
Mhm.
But say we're on a soft bubble.
Yeah.
Maybe
And-
there's 10 players to go still.
That's
And I
different.
flop a set, I'm going to try to get value.
Sure.
Yeah, same.
I'll check down
Same.
my pairs.
Okay,
That makes sense.
You're up, Kings.
We good? Okay. But kind of hijack, queen 10 suited opens. Button's probably supposed to fold here. I can see a defend coming. No, he folds. Small blind should, yeah, just fold. King 4, fold. Ace 6 in the small blind's probably gonna raise here. Probably gets a call from queen 9 suited. I would suspect.
Queen nine suited does some three betting here, by the way, in the charts.
Oh,
This
for
is-
sure, for
this is a
sure. I
good-
can
this
see
is a
three
good-
bets, but I think majority is going to be a call.
And the frequency of this three bet from the queen nine is at least, is around 50%.
Oh, and in this hand,
50? Oh, wow, okay.
King four could have raised too.
Yeah, I was gonna mention it. I didn't want to interrupt him, but yeah, king four is in there.
King four is a good rate. King
Is that not like
four-
kind of cusp,
That's
sort of
Yeah.
right
really
at the
cuspy.
bottom?
It
Yeah,
is
and the hijack.
cuspy.
It's
Okay,
cuspy.
okay, okay.
King five is solid. King four is cuspy, and that's in the hijack. In the low jack, king four is a fold.
It's a fold, yeah. King,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
king five in the low jack, king four in the.
Cause
Cutoff.
I'm usually looking for like king
Hijack.
6.
Oh,
in
king five
the-
is great. No, king five is great all the way down to, king five is great under the gun.
Okay. Oh,
king
really?
five-
In
Okay.
six max, in
Wow.
six max.
Yeah, in six,
Okay.
but even in
Low
nine max,
jack. Okay.
even in nine max, there's some king five.
Okay. Okay.
Under
okay,
the gun,
okay.
nine max?
Yeah,
I have to double.
That's
check on that.
surprising, but like
Look at
I
it.
believe you.
look at it.
It is
I
in
do
there a
believe
little
ya.
bit.
Look at it. The one thing I bothered to memorize. Look at it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just looked at this, didn't you?
I know this one. Yeah. Yeah, I know these. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So,
Go up through the position, Scotty, one at a time real quick as we
You
go.
got it.
So just
under
so
the
you know
gun.
it.
So here's the pattern is this. These king fives through king nines increase as they go up, but they start here, and then the king four comes in the hijack.
Okay,
So
do you
here
want
it
to
is.
hear a theory I have for early position?
Yep.
You're playing a bunch of weak players. You don't have to hit the cuspy stuff from early position. Because you're playing against a bunch of weak players, I let that stuff go in early position, and then I start adding the cuspy stuff in middle position.
Okay.
That makes
Little
sense.
adjustment. Over.
I mean, just for the record, like low jack / under the gun six max, I'm opening king 9 suited. Like I would fold. I was folding king 8 suited from low jack.
Oh no, yeah.
Sounds like that's way too
Look at
tight.
it. Look at it.
Yeah, I see that now. I'm trying to value these middling suited kings a little bit more than I have been.
They're
So.
beautiful. Look at them in all
Noted.
the zero
A
EV.
king high flush is a strong hand.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
So there
I'm
you
there
go.
with you.
So
Yeah,
there's your
from
split.
under the gun, my cutoff is like king 9 suited.
Well, yeah, that's what I just
Yeah.
said.
No, he meant under the gun.
That's
nine.
under the gun 9
9
max.
max?
Oh, no,
Oh,
he-
okay. Gotcha.
He's taking
Gotcha.
all this and putting it just in king nine. And
Understood.
And I'm playing all this at around 50%
Okay.
right there.
That makes sense. That's pretty intuitive.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's your pattern. Look at a beautiful king.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The way
But
it-
so this
okay.
king four is one early.
Yeah.
And this
No,
queen
it's in
nine-
there. It's in the hijack range.
Right,
Mhm.
but yeah. It's in the hijack range. It comes in the hijack range right here.
'Kay.
25% of the time, which means I would have played this, but it wasn't me.
I mean, I was expecting a fold from
Yeah.
the start here.
Yeah.
A6 raise.
But this
This
queen
is going to
nine
be a
here-
defend.
Yeah, take a look at how often this queen nine raises. Look at it. It's 50%.
30? Oh, okay. I was going to say
Look at
30.
it. No, look at it.
Okay. All right. Thought it'd be just slightly lower, but definitely going to have
That's
a
good.
good chunk of 3-betting.
But I don't expect. him to
Probably
do-
calls.
You're
Yeah.
in a 9 max. I like the 6 max charts better for small blind.
I'll go back to this. I'll go back to the 6 max now. 6 max. I'm gonna bet though that it's still there. Small blind raises, big blind. Look at it. And it's
It's the
50%.
same.
I don't like all those calls. I don't call in the small blind.
Oh, no, this is not the calls on the small blind. This is the big blind response to the small blind.
Oh, go back to the small blind range then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
looking at all those calls and I'm like, wait, the
No, no,
small blind has way too many calls.
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, I
Okay,
thought
I was-
this was
I
a
was just
small
pointing out-
blind limp range.
Oh, wait a minute, he's suited. I got this wrong. Suited, no.
I
was thinking
I
off-
was looking at offsuit as well. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I'm an idiot. No,
My
it's
bad.
that was just dumb. Yep. Just blind to it. Good. Okay, he played perfectly.
SMRT. Okay. So out of position here. I mean, I like having a lot of checks. Being out of position. The ace high board. I mean, I bet it sometimes, but it's a pretty healthy mix. Pretty healthy mix for me.
I like
Like,
the
but-
check here.
One of these marginal aces out of position.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be close to either like 60-40 or 40-60. Check
Yeah.
bet.
It's such a good check here. It's because it's so easy to play check call with.
I
Oh, but
agree.
look at that. He's decided to,
That's exactly why I don't like betting out of position with this ace here, because you're inflating the pot for no reason with essentially what amounts to a marginal holding with
Yeah.
backdoors that are not going to go in your favor. So,
but look at this. If you knew that he's gonna do this, this is a great bet.
oh, 100%, 100%.
Oh my, this is happy. Oh, even better.
Okay, so wait, we bet flop, he calls. I mean, I suppose I barrel here, 75 to 100% pot, or actually,
No,
wait,
I
one second,
check.
one
I'm
second.
only
No,
checking. I'm
no
checking
cl-
100% here.
Should be
Yeah.
check or bet small.
The draw hit, the draw is better for the calling range than the aggressive range.
Yeah.
yeah, I was just noticing we don't really have a club blocker here.
Right.
Just one of those hands that's like so mixy to begin with. I kind of need to think about it for a minute.
Yeah.
So,
And
I mean,
it's
I
also-
wouldn't have see bet out of position to begin with. So,
Yeah. So here's the one thing
I
about
think
this.
you can see bet, but if you see bet like ace six, you can't really double barrel it for value. So if
Yeah.
you're betting the turn, you're turning it into a bluff now.
that's why I like checking on the flop a lot more, right?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
But
So,
there's one other heuristic to keep in mind here. Ignoring our hand and whether this was ace king or ace six or ace eight.
Mhm.
When the flush completes, if we're going to bet, we generally bet small.
okay. Yeah. And that's consistent with like monotone flops as well, right?
Exactly. We generally,
Okay.
when the flush comes in, if you bet, you generally bet small. And that includes when you have the flush.
Okay. Yeah, it's just this
And-
is not a line that I would find myself playing in game. So like
So he does the check.
it makes most sense to check here for him after
Right.
the way it went on flop.
Right.
Oh yeah. Okay, so queen nine. I mean okay, flop C bet, and then he misses his continue. Most players are going to be continuing here. This is sort of a good combo just to check with your marginal pair, but I mean betting
I-
also denies equity for the clubs that can come in. So I mean both. I think there's a good argument for both.
I love
In
his-
game
I
I
love
don't
his-
mind checking.
I love his check there.
Yeah. Pot control, marginal holding, and just easy call here.
So
Yeah,
here-
that's why I keep pot control in mind. Like
Yeah.
you're not trying to blow up these pots and putting yourself in these nightmare call positions. Not that that was one, but that
So
was a
here's-
relatively pot controlled.
Yeah. So here's what I
And-
find interesting about this hand. So this ace six is perfectly good. This queen nine is perfect.
Mhm.
Here, I think this is an easy fold for the queen nine, even this small bet size.
I agree.
If he calls, he should be calling with the attempt, he should be floating the flop with the intent of bluffing the turn.
Okay.
Except all of a sudden he picked up he got the one card he didn't want to get, a card that actually helped him. Now he should change his mind. That's what interests me about this hand.
Why
It-
would he choose this combo to be bluffing the turn?
Oh,
Well-
because it's the only reason to call the flop. This queen nine of spades relates to this board in no way. The backdoor straight that it has. I mean, it does have the 8, 9, 10 jack queen straight backdoor, but
Mhm.
that's nonsense to
Be-
me.
Before
I
the
agree.
solvers,
Yeah.
there was a very specific strategy called float the turn. And in fact, when I first started working with Jonathan,
Yeah.
his site was called floattheturn.com.
I remember that.
So basically, you call a c-bet in position with the intention to bet every time they check the turn.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just okay. It's
Right. So I'm
it's
giving
just one of
this
those
guy-
like zero equity bluffs that
Yep.
you show up with on the turn. Okay, I gotcha.
So I'm giving this guy credit. He might just be a bad player who goes queen nine suited is a good hand. But I'm going to give him credit that his plan was to float the flop in order to bet the turn at checks and to fold whenever the guy continues. But then all of a sudden he found himself with an actual marginal made hand and had to change his mind. And
Mhm.
that's what amused me about the hand. All right.
Understood. That it's just so different from like what I would actually
Yeah.
how it would actually play out for me in game.
But this is the good thing. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for
Yeah, this is the reason to
they-
watch this.
how
For
are
sure.
they playing? That's what Mondays are about, not how
Oh, it's very
Yeah.
eye-opening. There's no
Yeah.
question. Okay, yeah. So folds around, small blind should raise. King four, blind versus blind. I mean, I don't know these ranges as well as you guys do. It kind of instinctually seems like a fold to me with how tight I know this has been, but blind
Yeah,
versus
it's a
blind,
fold.
I'm
It's a
defending
fold.
100%.
it's a
Yep.
fold.
Yeah.
It might have a sliver of bluffs. It has no
All
calling.
right.
But in
Okay.
an
Suit king
MTT,
down to
it's
like king
100% call.
5, king 6.
Yeah, king five and king six are doing it all the time. And I
Okay.
just didn't remember if king four had a sliver. It doesn't. Yeah. Yep. So, but in an MTT, this is 100% call.
Sure.
Goodbye.
So I just have a question. Like one thing I've felt transitioning from MTTs to cash, like it seems like cash, you're playing a lot more face up. And like there's a lot of times that you're getting bluffed and you're just like kind of folding marginal hands. It's just like it seems like a very more face up way of playing. Like, do you not feel like okay, I know this opponent is like just trying to walk all over me, but like these ranges are so tight, I just have to fold like I mean,
think
I feel like
maybe-
I can battle in tournaments a lot more, and I feel like in cash it's just like a lot more straight up face up play and just waiting to get paid with value.
That might be a result of looking at solver play and understanding that implied odds now and reverse implied odds are important. So you're playing so deep, right?
Uh-huh.
Play often is going to be a bit more defensive. So if you've got top pair, and you've got 20 bigs, it's probably going in,
Yeah.
notwithstanding ICM. However, at 100 bigs and deeper, you've got reverse implied odds to think about. So you got to play sometimes more defensively
Okay.
with your
It just
top pair
feels weird
plays.
having 4 tables open and I'm basically playing all my combos like face up, but it seems like that's most often the correct lines to be taken.
Are you winning by playing face up?
Yeah, I'm profitable.
There you go.
Okay. all right.
Congratulations. You have found
Okay.
the
Fair enough. Understood.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fold,
Are you
fold,
finding-
button opens and
Yeah.
fold.
Are you finding good check raises? I mean, are you find if you look at solver, I mean, you're going to have a lot more bluffs than probably what you're actually using. I mean,
True. I mean, I try to implement as many as I can, but yeah, you're not going to find them all.
so no one is compared to what solver has. So maybe, I mean, make sure you use your one solve a day and GTO wizard and
Well-
kind of pay attention to where those bluffs are coming.
Do you
Yeah.
ever work with the range tool on the pokercoaching.com?
No, I don't really spend any time on pokercoaching.com. I use GTO Wiz pretty heavily and then my BBZ material that I purchased.
Well,
But poker coaching's one I
Try-
haven't really gotten the habit of
try
like,
using the range analyzer tool,
Okay.
because what's more important is
Like I
getting
have
the-
Flopzilla.
Okay, you're not talking, Joey, you're not talking about this. You're talking about the tool where you can construct your own ranges,
Yeah.
right?
click
Clear the
tools.
charts.
I'm gonna do it.
Click
I'll go to it.
tools.
Keep talking. I'll go to it. I know the one.
Yeah,
That
this is new
one.
to me. I haven't used this before. Like
So-
it looks similar to Flopzilla, which I
Yeah.
used to use a lot
No.
more than I have been using lately.
The way I do it is you separate for 4. Use the 4 colors
Okay. Color preset.
down lower on the
Mm.
left side.
Yeah, lower. 4 colors. There you go. Got it.
4 colors, and then you make 4 ranges, premium, draws. You see on the top in the middle?
Yeah.
No, no.
Oh.
Oh, do post flop caller. You make those 4 ranges, and then you put every hand in your range into one of those buckets.
Hmm.
And then you analyze your range like this, then go back and double check on GTO Wizard.
Okay. Okay, sure.
And you use MDF to figure out how much you should fold. And typically your checking range, marginal made hands to junk should be about 2 to 1.
Hmm.
And on the flop, your draws should be 2 to 1 to your value, 1 to 1 on the turn, and 2 to 1 value to bluffs on the river is usually close.
Okay, okay. That
So
rings a
use
bell.
those frequencies, do your whole range through the whole hand going like this, and then double check it on GTO Wizard.
Yep.
This tool is free. I don't need a membership for this.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
this one's free.
Yeah.
Okay,
And it's
beautiful.
it's a great tool. I use it like once a week.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I go through one hand, I find one hand to go through, and it takes like an hour, hour and a half for me to do the whole thing.
Okay.
But it's a really good exercise on how to think about your whole range throughout the whole hand. And then you'll see that where you think, oh, I should be fighting back more with your MDF and your range, you don't have to get really wild, because some of the things that you can fight back on just easily fall into the right ranges.
Right.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. No, for sure.
And when you
No, I
think about,
appreciate that.
and one of the things is when you think about it that way, you go, I have plenty of hands here over my lifetime in this exact situation that I'm going to be able to raise you with your bullshit bet here. But this is
Yeah.
not one of the times.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
it makes it easier. The other thing I sometimes think about cash games mentally is we sit here and we play for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, grinding out an extra half a big blind here and trying to save one there. And so you're going up, but the real motion happens the one hand where all the money goes in,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? And so the
100%.
thing where you're saying about playing is that a lot of what you're calling playing face up is to protect yourself from being in that situation where when all the money goes in, you have the second best hand.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
avoiding
Okay.
those situations. And I'm very bad at that, of avoiding those situations. I find myself in them and losing all the money that I have slowly ground up. All right. Here, let's
I mean,
do,
I find myself in those spots
right.
too, but I usually fold them and feel like I'm too much of a nit, but
there you go. All right, let's do 3 more of these.
uh okay, so 5-4 suited, 160 deep. That's probably fine as an open.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. King Jack suited. Okay. King Jack suited, hijack versus low jack RFI. Probably can do either. I would think it's probably better as a 3-bet, but probably just fine as a call. Like ace 8 suited is probably just going to call here.
Okay, go back one step. Your logic about the King Jack suited, the way you're thinking about it is right. You're thinking about this hand, how it plays. But remember that other thing. Remember that other thing about one of the simplifications in cash is that when faced with a raise and you are in the hijack or cutoff, do you have any calls?
You should probably have less calls. Are you supposed to have any?
GTO Wizard
You-
has a simplification where you have no calls. So
Okay,
if you
have
have
zero-
calls,
You have
no
0
calls.
calls unless you're on the button.
Yep. So-
Okay, okay,
right.
okay.
So,
So does King Jack suited then fall into a fold just because of how tight this RFI range is from the low jack?
nope.
No,
No,
Comes
it's
with-
a
it comes with
raise.
3
It's
bets.
got to be a 3-bet?
It's a
Okay,
3-bet.
Yeah.
okay, okay.
See if he does it.
Well, that's what I was suspecting. I would think that he would 3-bet and then ace
Oh,
8 suited would
wait,
fold
let's-
versus a 3-bet.
He
Before you
folded it.
click buttons, let's talk about the hand pre-flop.
Good
Because
idea.
this is interesting.
Yep, here we go. See that?
Yeah, there's kind of a lot going on in this
Yep,
one.
but just reminding you this range. Now, you don't have to play this way, but I'm just reminding, that when you look at the hand, don't think about, does this play okay as a call when we have this simplification, which is there are no calls.
It's not a simplification. You just shouldn't be calling from. Remember, it's a rake driven thing.
Right. But I mean, it
Okay.
changes, but for example, it changes here. We go to 150 big blinds and we get it. That's what I mean by the simplification.
Yeah, but you get 1% call.
Right.
You
And
can
I mean,
still simplify to.
This is a good way to play, is to not have any calls.
Okay. I know in game I would be 3-betting this a lot, and then when he comes in with like the 4-bet or the 4-bet jam, like that's
Yeah.
usually a good candidate to
And you
fold,
fold, yeah.
but you're
Go
gonna
back to
take
the
it down
hand.
a lot or
Right.
play a heads up post
Here's the
flop.
hand.
There's still more.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening here.
Yeah.
He raises to 3 instead of 2.5. That's okay, but that changes things.
Uh-huh.
Jack King suited should 3-bet.
Yep. Jack King twos with 3-bet, and let me change
What
this.
do you do with ace 8?
That's got to be a fold
Fold.
versus low jack RFI, and then the 3-bet from the hijack has to be a fold. I
All
don't
right,
see
and
it
then
being
king,
anything
king.
else. Obviously, cold 4.
Let's go to the 3-bet. Let's give it the 3-bet size just for fun. See how that changes the range. Not much.
Okay.
You're in the wrong node.
I'm on this guy. I was looking. Oh, you're right. There we go. And against threes, here he has
But
developed a calling range.
I haven't liked this 3x charts on GTO Wizard.
No, they're weird because the tool, when we go to the 2.5 version, there's an assumption here we don't understand. Because when we
Yeah.
go to 2.5, it's not the same as the other 2.5. But it's something.
I mean, I use 3 in game, not 2.5, but
Oh,
Yeah, when we do
how do
this,
we have calls now? What did you mess up?
I'm saying, no, I didn't mess it up. I'm saying that GTO Wizard, when you go into the pre-flop only mode, even though you said
Oh.
an L50, it's giving you a different range, and none of us have talked to any of the people there to ask them why.
Yeah.
Do any of
Yeah,
us
I don't
know-
like that mode.
I
No.
was going to ask you guys about that. I thought
No,
maybe
no,
you
none of
guys
us
would
know.
know.
Do any of
Okay,
us,
fair
do
enough.
we know, do any of us know the GTO Wizard people? I think Louis might. I'll ask those guys about it. Anyway, okay. So back to the hand. This is
Yeah.
having
So, okay.
folded though.
All right.
Whoa.
Just stop clicking buttons. I want to talk about this before you click buttons, please.
Okay, I'm ready. Go.
All right, so king, king, what do you do?
Oh, we're not at
Okay.
king yet, Joey.
He said ace 8 folds.
Yeah. Okay.
Ace 8 folds when king jack raises, but when king jack folds, does ace 8 instantly fold here?
Oh no, before ace 8 folds, let's go there. I'm trying to go somewhere with this.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm ready,
So
Joey.
go back to king jack 3-bets.
Okay, but he doesn't. Oh, I
Right,
see.
he
He's saying
should.
if he
We're
does.
still talking about what should happen. In
Gotcha. Okay,
theory.
I'm back with you. King jack, assume king jack suited 3-bets.
What does ace 8 suited folds?
Fold.
Yeah, I agree. And then
And
king,
then-
king slam dunk cold 4, in my opinion.
Okay. 5-4 suited.
Good. Okay, so he's gonna go 3, 3, 6, 9, 2. I mean, if it's heads up, he's out of position. It probably
No,
gets
no,
the
no.
fold.
That's three.
No,
He's not
we're
fold.
still looking at 5-4 suited open, king jack 3-bets. King
Oh,
king
yeah.
4-bets.
Oh, okay. 5-4 folds for sure.
King jack suited.
He should fold.
I'd 5-bet.
Okay. I mean, I can see that being a thing for sure.
Not against everybody.
Yeah.
You
No,
have to
I-
be careful, but you can 5-bet this against a balanced player.
Okay.
If it's going to be somebody who's just doing jacks plus an ace king, fold the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But king jack does have some 5-bets against
And
the
I
right
think it's
opponent.
also, and I think it's gonna, oh wait, they'd be out of position. I was gonna say if they were in position, they would have calls as well.
Does
It
king
might-
jack? Does
It
king
might have a
jack-
little bit of calling too, but I prefer the aggressive act over the passive act.
Does king jack want a 5-bet against a cold 4, or just if the 4-5?
That's
you know,
the thing. I think this cold 4 is just so heavily weighted towards
Yeah.
like the top 4.5% of combos that it's just you're crushed.
Yeah,
Population, yes.
I just have
True
more cold
solver
four.
ranges, no.
Solver land different. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got
I
you.
just have-
think, I
I
think
have
we're gonna
no
find
fold
some
four
4-bets in the solver. It's gonna fold a lot, don't get me wrong. But you can 5-bet king jack suited here,
Gotcha.
Oh, I can see
Right.
that.
in my mind.
Yep.
Does that extend to king 10 suited as well? I would think so.
Yep, I think it does.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Well,
But this
the
is
thing
kind
is,
of theoretical
king
at
jack
that point.
suited, king jack suited blocks more value in the range.
True.
Oh, go, Scotty, can you change it to the not get off
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
yeah, change it to the regular one.
messed up one?
Yep, yep,
Go to post swap
yep, yep.
included.
There it is. That's the right one. Okay, here we
Because
go.
these are the ranges that we study and work from.
Right. So there's your queen jack that he skipped. Having skipped it, the ace 8
Oh,
mixes.
let's look at the 5-bet.
When he
thing real
does it?
quick.
Okay, so hijack goes here. It's the button that goes, yeah, button goes to 15.
Mhm.
And now our under the gun with his 4-5 suited gets the heck out of here. Look at his range.
Yeah.
Look at that
Yeah.
range.
That makes sense.
There's some folding of ace king in that range. So he
That's
folds,
yeah.
and our hijack is there with the king 10, king jack, and the king 10 suited. And mostly folds, but there's your 4-bets. I mean, there's your 5-bets.
5-bets.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And ace 5 suited. Don't ever forget the 5-bet with ace 5 suited.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
there.
I have a problem
That's
treating
actually
ace
the
5
better
suited
one.
like ace ace.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Ace 5 suited equals ace ace.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well,
Right.
do you know why the Broadway Kings get to do that? If you go back to the range of the button, a lot of stronger hands have a king in it. King, king, ace, king suited,
Mhm.
king, queen suited.
Mhm.
You're blocking a lot of those hands. That's why the Broadway Kings get to 5-bet.
Yeah, it's entirely due to blocker effects, right? Card
Right.
removal.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And
no
then
matter
the-
how tight a player is, it always blocks those hands.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
So now,
Yeah, okay. So in practice here, we
Oh,
got the
Now if we skip the king jack suited, ace 8 suited should have 3-bet.
yeah, although not
Yeah.
as much, ace 8 suited mixes his 3-bet compared to, so the hijack, the king jack suited is 100%. In the cutoff.
So
having
if the
only
hijack folds, the cutoff should have 3-bet.
Yeah, but look at it, look
what
at the
is the frequency? It's pure raise?
50-50. No, it can. It's a perfectly
Okay.
good one, but it's not, it's.
There's
it's
no
not as
calling though.
egregious. His fold is not as egregious as the king jack's fold was.
Okay. Yeah. But suited ace is never calling there. It's always a 3-bet.
Because
Never calling unless you're on the button.
right.
Okay.
When we
okay,
say
okay,
you're never
okay,
calling, we mean no hands. You're never calling.
Okay. Understood.
And my suggestion is that for the next couple of months, actually do that and then see if you find yourself wanting to do, find yourself either deeper stacked and wanting to do something more like this, but after you've done it for a while to see what it's like. Or
Sure.
you find yourself in the same size, you find yourself still at 100, but with a much lower rake. And you decide you want to start doing it.
Okay.
But for now, do this other thing.
Sure. Okay.
The ace 8
So-
does, the ace 8 in this case chooses to fold. And that's okay.
Yeah.
He rolled.
And this is just clear cold
Right.
3, and he probably doesn't have the odds to call. I mean, he can call, he might call, but
Right. Although I
probably
want to
shouldn't.
I want to make an
I think he's
adjustment.
supposed to
He's
call.
He's at 150. He is at a legitimate 150 now.
Mhm.
See how that does to his ace 8. Nothing. Still same thing.
Okay.
Okay. So there he is. And now
So
king.
now to go 3-bet and maybe call with 5-4 suited.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, at these stacks, he probably is gonna call.
Even at 100.
Yeah.
I like the king betting slightly bigger against this guy because of how deep their stacks are. I
Yeah.
like that.
Oh wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have flop. We have achieved flop.
Yeah.
Get away from
So,
this is what you
I
want.
mean, 5-4 is going to check here. This is such a slam dunk check raise board for him. Oh shit. Okay.
So
I
It-
bet
he
there
probably
is
does
some
get
leading
dunks here
in
and
this
We
solve it.
have to
3-bet
check,
pot.
but this might be a board where he gets the lead.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
for
gonna get
sure. I
dunks
mean,
here,
I
but
lead a lot of boards. I lead a lot of these boards. But this exact combo just plays so well as a check raise, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, I was expecting check, and obviously King's gonna bet. King's gonna bet a little bit larger, and then I was expecting 5-4 to come in with like a fat check raise here.
What
I
was
would argue dunking here is fine. However, understanding how the decision tree changes on later streets when you get called is pretty
Uh-huh.
tough. I mean, it's one thing to
Oh.
understand a donking flop, but it's
Hang
another
on.
thing to see how that strategy follows
Scotty,
through on
stop
turn and
sharing for a
river.
second.
Okay.
I just looked at this and you won't believe it. But the out of position player is supposed to bet range.
Really well.
my gosh. At a 4-bet.
Hey,
Oh, no, this is a
normalize,
3-bet.
hey, normalize
is
real
three-bet.
quick, just so we can see how
That's
many.
very surprising.
Well, normalize doesn't.
I just want
change.
to, I know it doesn't change the frequencies, but it allows me to see where we're kind of sitting with these hands. Yeah, okay.
Oh my.
No, that is surprising.
That is so surprising.
I just threw this in. I saw this. I'm like, wait, I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
No.
All right, so let's back to the hand.
All right, so this guy and the sizing is 33%.
Yeah.
So his sizing is a little big, but boy, okay.
No, that's the sizing he should have had.
Oh, this is 50. I thought he was supposed to be 33.
So in the hand, he went bigger, more like 50%.
Oh, I'm not sharing. That's what's wrong.
Yeah.
There we go. He does
Oh,
more
yeah,
like,
it's close.
he does
It's like
50%.
40%.
Yeah.
40. Okay. Yeah, he's a little large, but
He's a
he
little
has a bet range here.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
I've never seen that out of position.
No.
Yeah.
Out of-
As
into a
the
3-better.
caller, as the pre-flop caller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very weird. It's just, I know myself, if I'm sitting here with this 5-4 diamond like this, I see this board, it's check raise all day long. Like I'm not.
I would have check called it. I don't mean that's right, but I know that's what I would have done. Wow. Okay.
Seems reasonable, this call from King. Yeah, I like the
Especially
call.
with the
I
king
don't.
and diamonds.
Yeah, he's got the king of
Yeah.
diamonds.
What do you do without the diamond?
I probably still just call. Most likely. Yeah, no, I like a call still, even without a diamond.
If I have the king of hearts, king of spades here, what I do is wish that that guy had bought in for 30. All right, here we go. Getting worse for the kings.
I mean, he led flop, so I assume he's going to continue here.
He
Like,
does.
it's just kind of annoying. I mean, I'm just calling myself with these kings.
Oh, wait, Scotty.
Yeah.
Are these half pot bets where the rake is just taken out?
Yes, these are
Mhm.
exactly
the
half
bet.
pot. That's what I was saying. It was half pot. Yeah, these are half
Okay.
pot bets.
Yeah, and half pot is kind of a suspicious sizing too, but it's just like,
It's
I don't
also
know, I
an
call,
unstudied
I
size.
call. I like to
It's
call
also-
I
here.
don't think half pot is a suspicious sizing. Let me tell you why. Prior to me getting sick in 2021, I coached several players.
Mhm.
And a lot of my students had the problem, they had one button.
Yeah.
50%.
Yeah.
50%.
Oh, okay.
Every bet they made, 50%.
Yeah.
So I think if people are gonna mess up, it's kind of like they choose the 50% bet, and that's the only bet they ever make.
Yeah. It's not suspicious, it's unstudied.
Okay, because I usually see that as like a poor bluff. You know what I mean? It's like they should either commit to a larger sizing or choose not to bluff, but they feel like they don't really know what they're doing. It's like, oh, I have to bluff here. I'm using
No,
this
watch the
goofy
play.
50% sizing.
No, watch the player on other hands. If you see 50% as their standard bet, read nothing into it other than a bet.
Okay,
It's
okay,
the
okay.
size. And then occasionally they'll go pot when they have pocket jacks on a board that is deuce 7-10, and they're just so afraid of another card. You know,
Yeah.
but that
Yeah,
their basic
they're
bet
so
is
happy there's not an overcard, and they just want to pump the money in now.
Oh, I
And-
see jamming there all the time, all
Sure,
the time.
exactly. But that still means, but their standard bet size is still 50%. It's their bet size, whether it's a bluff or a value bet or anything. And then occasionally they get something specific about the hand pushes them away from that size.
Okay, okay.
There's the
Yeah.
call.
6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's really, really annoying river. I mean, and he's gone this far. He's obviously going to continue. And I don't see how kings can call against a jam or 100% pot sizing here, or 75% pot.
I wonder
Like
if it's right to bet with the ignorant end of it now that you've gotten there. I'm wondering if this straight is not marginally made.
Good
I
point.
mean, like
Should he block bet instead of checking?
6,
I don't
7,
know.
8, 9s. I think that's viable. I think either you want to block bet or continue bluffing. Checking seems really bad.
Such a weird bluff though now.
I agree.
It's a
No, I
value
agree.
bet that rarely will be called by that is not often called by worse. I don't want to say
Mhm.
rarely. And so a value bet
And-
that is not often called by worse is either a thin value bet or a marginally made hand. And I think this hand has just become marginally made when it came in.
Yeah,
So
I
doesn't
think
that
it's
make
too
the
strong
argument
to-
for the blocker bet?
It makes
It's
the
too
argument for
strong to
check
be a
call.
bluff.
It makes
Okay,
the argument
yeah,
for check call and try to induce
okay.
a bluff. And if you
Yeah,
See, a
believe,
lot of the
call-
times that I do blocker bets, it's basically same combos as I would be doing check call with, just to
Yeah.
sort of prevent a nightmare bet from in position.
Yeah, I kind of see it the same way.
Just keep it cheap, and then you're not sitting there having to call your essentially a bluff catcher for 100% pot
But the thing
sizing.
is, with this hand, if you bet small, you're going to get called by worse hands.
Yeah, for sure, for
So-
sure, for sure, for sure. That's kind of why I like the blocker bet.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, in game, I could definitely see myself using a 10% pot sizing with this 5-4. Sorry, I kind of lost track where I'm supposed to be narrating here
check
where
line,
we're at.
check line. And
Okay.
I think the Kings have got to check here.
Oh, 100%.
oh, the
Suicide to bet.
villain 130 was supposed to bet there.
Bets, and what size?
Like a blocker?
Blocker bet.
Okay,
How-
perfect, perfect. That makes sense. 10%.
Almost 100. Well, he bets almost 100% of his range.
And what size?
It's all here. Let me share.
Yeah.
It's all mixed.
This is such a crazy hand.
Yeah, it is.
The only thing is on the flop, we didn't have the sizing he actually did. So I had to go with 33%.
Right.
So that's the only change. Of course, king's call, 9 of hearts. He does have a little, with the 5-4 of diamonds, he does have the follow through,
Mhm.
and 50% is in there.
Right.
Kings call, but they're starting to raise a bit more.
Because now he beats 7-8.
And then with the 6 of clubs, he bets almost the range, except for queen, and queen 10 suited.
Right.
Okay.
And the fives bet the 5-4 bets what size? Let's see what are
It's mixed between the 10% and 35%.
Okay,
Yeah, it looks like they're using that 35% probably as a function of how big the stacks are here.
okay. Awesome.
I tend to go for 10% pot when I'm using the blocker.
Okay.
You could go 35% too.
Is that because stacks are a little bit deeper?
Yeah. Oh, wait, I didn't fix the stacks.
Yeah, he's,
So this should be at least 150.
Oh, okay.
So under the gun, button, under the gun calls.
Oh, just 30 seconds. Be right back.
What,
flop.
what was the flop
is-
again?
Flop is 9 of clubs, 8 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds.
Alright, so under the gun doesn't have that full range bet anymore.
Not at this stack depth.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
100 big blinds. Look at the big difference it makes adding 50 big blinds to the stacks.
Huge, huge.
But he does have bets with 5-4 diamonds.
And he's got a lot of donks.
And then king's call,
9 of
9 of
9 of
diamonds,
hearts. 9 of hearts.
9 of hearts. And he should be betting larger. He does have a little bit of 50%, so that doesn't break it.
But his main size was what? What was his correct size? Was it 75 or 125?
Why is it not showing me? Oh. 5-4. Let me go to
Thank you.
125,
25.
180.
125. Oof.
And king's call. 6 of clubs. And still blocker bet. Now it's still between. Actually, with the diamonds, you go 33%, but everything else mixes 10% in some.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense, though. It does make sense.
So if he bets 35, kings are supposed to start folding.
Yep.
Mhm. Okay.
And his particular combo of kings was club diamond. And club
The
diamond.
diamonds are the ones that are folding.
I mean, that's a pretty sick sizing. You're going to get value out of those kings a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of getting max value with that sizing.
Yeah,
So,
and in game, even if you go 35 here, people will call these hands that they're supposed to be folding in game.
okay, yeah, for sure.
This is where you can exploit and start going a little bit bigger.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, wow, we're down to 4 people. Everybody left.
Yeah, we scared him away. All right. Well, we're almost done anyway. We'll play to another hero hand.
Sure.
And let's see. And have I been in any of these hands? No. I've not been involved in any of this excitement.
We've had some pretty good theoretical discussion, though. There's been
yeah.
some pretty interesting spots to come up. So
And that
certainly putting me on my toes.
Yep.
Keeping me
And
on my
that-
toes.
and that 100% donk bet. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Okay.
But, oh, King, you were away from your screen.
Just
At-
very briefly. Yeah.
Oh,
Did you see when we
yeah,
went up
you
to
gotta see this.
150?
Oh, no. That's when I was away.
Yeah, take a look at this. This is worth seeing.
Okay.
Yeah, let me share again.
I had to run to the bathroom. Sorry.
Remember at
Like,
100, we had 100% range bet. We go up to 150. We don't get range bet anymore.
Sorry, 150 like effective stack size?
Yes.
Okay.
Remember I had 100 big blinds. We had a range bet here out of position.
Yeah, it was like what, 96, 97% or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
okay.
it's 50
Wow.
50.
Okay.
Just by
Interesting.
making the stack 50% bigger.
Wow. Okay. Noted.
But the thing is, on that board, we still get donks into the
Yeah.
button 3 bet.
Sure,
And
okay.
our hand still donks.
Just such an unfamiliar spot, donking out a position into the 3-bet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I'm still up here, right?
Yep. You're up.
Okay. Big blind gets a walk by the looks of it here.
Okay. Ace nine might squeeze it out. There.
What's the earliest position ace 9 is supposed to be opening from? Because I
Hijack.
don't open from low jack.
Hijack.
That seems about
Hijack.
right.
Hijack.
Hijack.
Okay.
And it's a solid open from hijack.
If
No,
you
it's
swing-
not a solid. It's a half open from hijack and it's solid. from-
Sometimes I'm doing low jack, sometimes I'm doing hijack, sometimes I'm doing cutoff, depends
That
on the
sounds good.
table.
That sounds good.
But this is gonna be a walk for the big blind. I don't
Yep.
see how
Walk
it's
from
not.
the big blind.
Yeah, I think in the low jack, ace 10 is partial.
That sounds right. That sounds right. Majority, but partial.
Yeah.
7,
I
8
hope this
diamonds
7
probably opens here.
I hope he does. Please open. Please open.
I am.
8 of diamonds. Come on, 7.
Versus low jack. Oh, he should have opened. Okay, so
No.
button cut. So king 6 suited. This is probably fine as an RFI, but I
Damn
wouldn't.
right it is.
Yeah, okay. And obviously
I
ace king
see why
suited 3
Scotty was
bets.
begging for him to open.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. And then this is just a fold.
Pretty
All
clear.
right. That
Does
counts as
king
a
6
Scotty.
suited have any 4 bets?
I don't think so.
I think he gets a 4-bet bluffs in
Let's see.
poker coaching. I don't know about GTO Wizard.
Let's see what the wizard says, because that's where we are.
4% frequency.
Let's see.
I look for the slivers.
Here we go.
Oh, thought we had a sliver.
That was that cutoff that had the ace king? Yeah. So we
Yeah.
go. And there's the cutoff, back to the hijack. No, it's got,
Oh,
there's
okay.
no three betting of this.
Got a
nonsense.
tiny bit of calling.
Got a tiny bit of
Mhm.
calling,
I got excited for a second. I thought that was the 3-bet.
but somehow I didn't find that call.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I
you
think
want-
it's fine as a fold myself. Like,
no. You want to find your comedy 4 bets. You've got the lovely solver special here.
yep.
You've got your
Yep.
real value. You've got your kind of value. And then you got your jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's your joke.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Excellent. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We will do theory stuff tomorrow, theory and solver work tomorrow. 9:50.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot.
Did you guys want to look at like blind versus blind tomorrow?
Always.
Because we had several hands of blind versus blind today, and then
That sounds good.
True. Okay.
Here you go. Stop share.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right.
all right, see you later.
See you
Bye,
tomorrow.
everybody.